What up? What up? What up?
Yo, what's good?
Live and live.
What's
Peace.
going on, internet land? We live with you again. We got we got Gorilla Pete, Big Pimpin' over there.
Don't forget the king part. Don't forget the king part.
We got Dirty Folks, Shoutouts finest over there. And you know when he speak about them topics, you know he do this. And we got Vine over there. Are y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Vine over there, and you know what they say about Vine. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-oh.
And then you got me, the fly bow tie guy, coming live as well. And I'm straight out of napping. This is how we do it down here. You know what I'm saying?
AKA the
And
French
last but not
Connection.
least, we got a special guest today, Miss Star over there. How we doing tonight, lady? I think you're breaking up a little bit. Can y'all hear?
She breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, as you see, it's still daylight.
I think she breaking up on y'all end.
Yeah, man, we got that T-Mobile connection.
Hey, Black, what's the are you on Facebook?
Yeah.
What's the page on Facebook?
My Quessy Black page.
Okay.
Yep,
Oh,
so
I forgot this one's supposed to be going. All right.
So, topic tonight: Black men can't build because Black women want to lead. My first question, and anybody can choose to step out and speak first. If Black women want to lead, what's stopping the Black man from building? Anybody want to take that question?
Oh, you want to take?
I was hoping that I could you could hear me.
Yeah, we hear you now. Good. You hear you good.
Okay.
So
I want to hear what Pete got to say.
Gotta hear one line. All right. So nothing really stops a Black man from building if the Black woman wants to lead, if he separates himself. Right? So meaning he has to do it externally and without the Black woman. Because if she wants to lead, that's fine. She just has to lead in her own thing. And he has to do it without her. So he can still build, he can't build with her if she's trying to lead and he's trying to build. You know what I'm saying? So can it be done? Yeah, it just has to be exclusive. Now, if the Black woman is to be included, you know what I'm saying, then she's going to have to forego the position of wanting to be in leadership, allow him to do what he has to do, and follow suit, right? Now, we see already what's happening with Black women already being in the lead. And if she leads, she doesn't really build Black men that can build. You know, I would say all of us are probably roughly the same age, same generation. But if you look at the generation now, that's been probably 3 generations deep in single motherhood, and which means pretty much the community is being ran by, Black women. The Black community saying, can they build builders, leaders? You know what I'm saying? Are they doing it? You know what I'm saying? When you look at the percentages, they're not doing it. So they can't create on a large scale. You might have a few, but on a large scale, they can't create the builders because they're leading. But when Black men are leading and building, and we have proof of it, Black Wall Street, Chicago, black man came in, and Toussaint Oak could probably confirm that, and Vaughn, because he's from Chi-Town too. You have, Raleigh, Durham, all these things were built by black men. First set of banks, stuff like that. And, so yes, can the black man build? Yeah, he just can't include the black woman until after he's built what he built. But when he does, she still can never really take that leadership role because she would, of course, build her own structure, which may conflict with what he built. And usually when black men build, it is for the purpose of provisions and protection. You know what I'm saying? So he built a home so they don't have to be in yeah. So he built that to protect and provide and give provisions, make sure, even the culture at the time built the culture that was set to protect and provide for both the women and the children. And if you know that,
you ain't got the answer, Sway.
We know that because we always, even however you look at it, if you blame white supremacy and the government, the first thing that we all agree on is, oh, they took the man out the house. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because since they did that, black people are unable to build. So the man is necessary to build. And you have proof that when the women lead, there's nothing being built. And this is why so much money goes into empowering black women, because they don't want black people to build shit, because they know if they empower the men, then there's great competition and possibly a takeover. So who's next?
Anybody got a reply to that? You want to build further or disagreement?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Just to offer a little bit, we can go a little deeper on it, I guess. If the black man can't include the black woman, then what woman is he including, if any at all?
I mean, any he chooses. Look at what is it, Hannibal the Conqueror or whatever. I mean, he damn near changed the complexion of a whole damn country. Italy, Portugal, or them combined. So yeah, I mean anybody, because once he drops the black seed, it's a black baby. However you look at it. So
I think that's a social idea, but that's not a scientific fact, right? So when they say one drop rule makes you black, that was to push the agenda of racism, right? So that was to say, if you bred with anybody black, then your baby won't be accepted. But that's not a scientific fact. It's not a biological fact.
It is, because you're transferring. Once you make a baby, you transfer DNA. So it is a scientific fact. Whatever DNA is programmed into that person, they're passing it on. So irregardless if it's a white woman, black woman, Asian, whoever, you know what I'm saying? His DNA, and that's important, because really black, first of all, we take black as complexion. Like me and Quezzy can say we black, but if you really look at it, we don't have the complexion for it, right? And black is really not a race. All it is, and if you say if anything's a social construct, it's the title black, right? So the title black is really, people who choose to be that, right? So as a man, wherever I lay my seed, that's my DNA. I create whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, you can't even say you're 100% black, because you don't know how far or who mixed in your ancestry down the line. And you're a DNA subject of that. So, and that is most of Black America. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody think like, oh, how is it pure when, if you say most of us was enslaved and there's been mixing with the slave master, you know what I'm saying? That means somewhere down the line, how do you remain black if all you need is, if you're saying that's a social construct and it takes away from your blackness, if it's not a pure, what you would consider black seed, all it'll take is one white man in your family to say, okay, you're not black.
Well,
right?
I'm gonna drop this question and I'll leave it alone, let y'all kind of deal with it. But let me know if I'm incorrect on this or if I'm inaccurate on this. When you say when a man and a woman come together to create a child, what percentage is the child of the father and what percentage of the mother? Is it 50-50? Is it 60-40? Like what's the breakdown?
It really just depends on recessive or dominant genes. I mean, of course, you're going to get 23, what is it, chromosomes from each or something like that. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've been in science class. But at the end of the day, look at your features and, they talk about the dominant and recessive gene. This is where it was saying like a family could have 4 children and all 4 won't come out looking alike. And one will have a different structure. So it really just means what dominant genes come in. I would look at it like that. Dominant genes come out would say who you favor more, but 50-50 as far as shared chromosomes, so.
Okay. I'm done.
Yeah.
Good,
Star, what's up?
I'm good. I honestly,
what's your thoughts on that so far?
I don't necessarily see. The thing is, I don't necessarily disagree, or or even just wholeheartedly agree. Hey, that's my bonus daughter. Here's the thing. When it comes down to leadership, right? You have to look at the definition of the word. I'm speaking and I'm automatic out there. I do not want to lead.
You're breaking up, Star. Man. I know she had some bombs to drop on that one.
Yeah. Star, if you can hear us, exit out, come back in sometimes. It just be that. Look, while she's doing that, you want to do some shout outs, Kwesi, to the people that's chiming in?
Yes, sir. Let's see, what's this? See, 19 million unborn blacks. You trying to read some highlighted comments?
Reflect reproductive choice. I don't know what that means. We got Mitch in the house.
Let me share something.
What's going on, brother?
Let me share something with you while we wait on Star to come back.
Right.
So I just got a quick Google search here. It says while women do inherit 50% of their DNA from each parent, men inherit about 51% from their mother and only about 49% from their father. Right. And so this is kind of why I asked the question. I always thought it was about 50-50. I didn't even know about that extra 1% when it's a man coming from the mother. Right. So it's going to be 50-50 or 51 when it's the man's when the child is a boy or male. Right. So the point that I'm making in that is that when a child is born, it's not, even if it's the byproduct of an interracial relationship or interethnic relationship, that child is not just black just because of a one-drop rule. Again, that's a social construct. Black is a blackness, just like whiteness, is a social construct, a social idea, not a biological one, right? So so the point that I'm making, I guess, is that you're 50-50, and the white side has just as much claim to that. If white folk could just as easily, especially if the woman is white and the child is a male, the white woman could easily say that child is white, but the social idea doesn't promote that.
I'm not. You know what? I'm just gonna say this. Okay, go ahead.
Hold on.
We're missing one key component.
Go ahead.
Mitochondrial DNA comes from the mother.
Exactly. That's exactly my point.
And when your sperm enters the egg, the tail of your sperm carries your mitochondrial DNA. when it hits the egg, it actually disintegrates, it eats it. So the mother's mitochondrial takes over. So, and that does not, now, I'm not one of those people that discredits the masculine component by any means. I'm all about balance, but I'm just stating that if somebody with a mother who was Caucasian went and took took pretty much a test on their racial identity, that would be, they would come out Caucasian due to their mitochondrial being from a white woman. But socially, even if they have hair as nappy as mine, socially, they will be seen as one of us.
That's it. That's all I'm saying.
I don't care what y'all saying, because I've never dropped an orange seed and got a great tree. You know, a fruit by the seed. So y'all telling me the dirt dictates what the tree is. I'm not going. But I'm going to let y'all continue.
Not at all. But the masculine and feminine components have different roles. It doesn't, two things of equal strength cannot cancel itself out. They can't cancel themselves. So in no way am I saying that that's more superior than what the seed.
It's not even superiority. We're talking about identity. We're not talking about superiority.
Exactly. Right. However, there is a test that can also test from the paternal side. It just took longer for scientists to do that. But in the beginning, they traced the mitochondrial. That's how they were able to trace different cultures, races.
I'm not a Jedi. Check this out. In order to be, semen lasts for 72 hours. It lives for 72 hours. So you can be impregnated by pre-cum if that's what it takes. But you can only be a boy in the first 16 hours. I did not win a nut race to be marginalized. But what I will say is this. Shout out to Pete for doing this best oak imitation. But
I didn't hear what he said.
Hey, science. I don't always like science either.
This is not even a science thing. I'm bringing it back to the topic of the pod.
Okay. I want to touch on the leadership thing, though. The thing is, anytime a man has to ask permission to lead, he's already failed. Not ever have I once. My husband has never asked me permission for anything. Why? He's a man. He was a man before we got married, and he's going to be a man while we're married. If he ever asked me permission, that means that obviously there's something missing. He don't have to have, believe me, he don't need my permission to be no man. So the thing is, you don't have to a woman can't let anything. You either doing what you need to do as the man, you lead your household, or you're not. But here's the problem. If the woman has intellect, she's going to understand what leadership means. See, I spent quite a few years in the military. I understand leadership. So here's the thing. We have to go somewhere. See, if you're leading, we got to go somewhere. And here's the thing. A lot of people want to make it gender specific, and I'm all for recognizing the man being the man. Now, here's the thing. Who has the bigger vision? The man has to stay mentally ahead of the woman, because if her vision is just as big as yours, she's going to automatically try to take charge of that, not because she wants to emasculate you. She's just as worried about her seeds having a legacy than you are. So in some cases, some women really take the lead in things because they see that maybe that man's vision is not as big as theirs. But see, you have to stay ahead of us mentally. We're mental as hell.
Well, I'm not saying, okay. I was just going to answer to that. I mean, I get that, but mentally is perception, right? Most women think they are smarter than men. They think that they know more. You know what I'm saying? Many times they don't. Not saying there are not intellectual women that may surpass men, but everything is application, right? So it doesn't matter if you think you're smarter. Can you apply the information that you have?
And that I'm happy you brought that up. But here's the thing. If you are married, because I hope that a lot of people listening, they're married. If you are married, that conversation should already happen. If you guys are not having conversations like you guys are on a football team together and about to go to the Super Bowl, like, yeah, you're going to do this, you're going to intercept, you're going to do this. What are you together for? There's no reason to be together if you're not trying to do that. Now, it doesn't mean that she's got to go out and do the same thing you're doing. No. But the thing is, if you guys can actually come together and work as a team, somebody may have a bigger idea than the other. But yes, normally it's the man that does the execution of those things. Very much so. It's the balance of it all.
Well, yeah, I think, and the application is important, right? Because you know, having an idea and knowing its capacity is where the complexity comes in, right? Like I remember, and I'll just give you an example because I don't talk through experience, right?
Right.
So I remember this was a while back. I was, I was doing Uber and stuff on the side, and this chick I knew, we was just chopping it up, and she's like, yeah, you should be, at the time she lived in Fort Valley, which is like Macon, if you're familiar with Georgia, it's like 2 hours south from Atlanta. She's like, yeah, you can do this. People be needing rides to the airport, and you just get a van and pick them up. And I'm like, okay, well, I said in her mind, she just knew it was good. She thought it was a great idea. And so I was just asking the questions like, well, how many people are coming? How often do they come? And I started asking real applicable questions of running a business because she was like, yo, you just got to come out. I'm like, come out where? Like, where do I pull up at? How do I, you know what I'm saying? And she was getting frustrated because mentally she thought she was smart coming up with a great idea, felt I was bashing it by just asking simple questions because of application of what idea she has, you know what I'm saying? And she got frustrated. In her mind, she thinks she's the smartest thing, you know what I'm saying? And then look at me as the opposer because I just asked her fundamental applicable questions. Can I apply what you're telling me? And this happens a lot. I have another, I had somebody else go through that. Somebody external.
A woman has to be receptive. It's just like having sex. How are you going to penetrate her if she's not lubricated? She has to be receptive.
Exactly. But my point
that's
is
the submissiveness that we talk about. We submit. It's just there's levels to it. That's all.
Well, and not many submit. Many believe that they are controlled. This is why you have the dynamics you have. Like the point is, and I'm gonna shout out, I see Javon, which is Atlas, and I kind of pulled this question because he posted it,
Atlas.
and you know what I'm saying, Atlas, if you're here, we
much love,
you heavy, right? Much love,
right?
And so I pulled it from it because it made me look into it, and it's like, yo, when you look at the Black community, it's primarily led by Black women. And every time Black men try to step up and lead, it happens. And the biggest thing was like, look at what Ice Cube, because that's what he gave an example. You look at when Ice Cube created the Contract for Black America.
Yeah.
The intent was to build for the so-called Black community because, and the first thing the four women were asking them, well, what about women? They made themselves, because people get mad when Black men said, let's exclude the Black women. But when Black women exclude themselves and say, well, what about us? Like, what do you mean, what about us? We said Black. That means man, woman, child. That falls into the Black people category.
I wrote about this yesterday. Yeah. And like I said, there's I can't speak for all women, but from what from what we're speaking on, from the generation that really didn't get that home training, there was a lot of things in between there on why that happened. So when you got broken family dynamics, her mama didn't get no good man. You got Mary J. Blige music playing through the house all the time. You probably got Love and Hip Hop playing on the TV. Mm-hmm. There's nothing in her sphere that represents something positive as far as a male. And unfortunately, that's what she attracts, right? Sure. So you have to remember the only women that probably had wisdom in her family were down 3 generations. We don't have Big Mama no more.
Well, what about the boy, right? See, we always look at where.
Make sure you click that subscribe button and that notification bell.
French connection. So we hear that for the woman, right? And the women always get a pass because they can say, oh, they didn't get this from their mama, this. But what about the boys? When their daddy's not there, you know what I'm saying? And you have a woman that's frustrated, that's impatient, that can't handle what boys do. And I'll give you an example. My own life, my own experience. I got a son. He's 16. I got his mama. She don't understand things that he's doing, right? I understand it. She's like, why he got to do this? I'm like, because he's a boy. Because she wants to lead, she'll be like, well, how do you know these things? I'm like, because I'm a man and I went through the stages he went through and I know what we do. Well, I didn't grow up like that. I said, I know, because one, you grew up in a different environment. One, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. You from Athens, Georgia. So you grew up in a different environment. Two, well, really, that's two. The number one is you're a woman. So the shit you wanted to do as a girl is different than what boys want to do as boys. But because of her wanting to lead and control, You know what I'm saying? It bumps heads because, and so therefore he's left conflicted, right? She's left frustrated. She's ready to put hands on him or be at his throat because she can't understand it. And mind you, she has me involved, even though I'm not there in the household. So imagine a mother who chose to just do this shit by herself.
Right.
And I've seen women who try to do it by themselves. And I watch how they're raising their boys and their daughters. And especially their sons, they have the less patience. Like straight up. I got a homegirl, I watch her and her daughter. Cool. Her son, I have to sometimes be like, chill.
Yeah.
Because I know you're gonna emasculate him, and he is, a little bit, right?
I'm with you on that because I have four sons myself, and
correct.
never have I ever talked. I've never talked down on them. I always speak life into them, and I can see the results.
Exactly. And I wanted to add to it is because these conversations is, well, why black men are not building? Well, if you're coming out of a one-parent home that's toxic, that hasn't taught you to be a man, because they rather emasculate you than raise you, right? You want these men to just come out at 18, 19 when they finally could get out their mama house, and then expect them to be prepared for war, for warfare, for the marketplace. You know what I'm saying? 18 years, they gotta deal with all this stuff. And now at the age 18, when they're out their own and they can really tell their mama she ain't shit and or feel that way and have to indoctrinate themselves, right? They also go through it. So here's my issue. We say for women, oh, they're not this because this didn't happen. But they never say, yo, it's the children in its entirety. They still want men to step up, even though they had no platform to become a man by the time they're 18. You know what I'm saying? The only time they're really men is because the cable or the light bill is in their name, but that's another, So
yeah, I can, honestly, those types of women, I don't even have as friends because I don't like looking at that type of parenting. So I honestly can't relate to that type of mentality, but I understand it, and I don't make passes for them. I'm very brutal. I'm very brutal on paper, and I try not to be, but I like to make people think. So what confuses me is, a lot of times women say, you know what, I got tricked. Here's the thing, and somebody asked on there, how do you know a good leader? The same thing that these women do. They go out and they try to find a good man, and they obviously, might make a mistake.
Nah. I can't right now. But first, come on. Like a mistake, one baby. You know what I'm saying? After that, 4 or 5, and all by deadbeat dads. Like, how do you, come on. First of all, a woman has a better chance than a man, right? Because, look, you're a woman, you're an attractive woman. You walk outside, you know what I'm saying? Shit might be different because they see the ring, but before the ring, you know what I'm saying? And on a daily basis, going to the grocery store in some sweatpants and all that, 10 dudes, you got 10 opportunities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Every day, 7 days a week, if you just run to the store every day, not including hanging out, being here and there. So you mean to tell me in 1 week you probably have 100 men that are interested in you, and somehow you pick the lowest form every time.
Not even the bottom of the barrel. They lift the barrel up and go beneath the damn dirt. I know. I get it. I don't like it.
It's at a large scale. Like when you look at 76, what is it? Now it's 81% of black children are being born under a one-parent household. You look at 56% of black mothers are single and solo. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really be like, yo, and somebody posted as the government. Yo, nah, man, the government was many years ago, and many times people think the government is against us, and it wasn't, because the same projects that we call projects that the government put on us was the same thing that they gave white immigrants when they came in. Jews, Italians, Irishmen came into those, lived there, white flight, put them in the suburbs so they could build more suburbs. came into the black community. Hold on, I'm gonna say this because everybody keep thinking the government took the man out the house, not realizing the woman.
You have to wrap it up because other people gotta get their turn.
Yeah, go ahead. If you, my bad, Vaughn, you want to? I was gonna say something about Section 8, but go ahead and I'll answer with Section 8.
We were already we were never mind. We'll touch on it.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Let Vaughn get in real quick.
Yeah, Vaughn, go ahead, Vaughn.
Pete, you keep coming in here with this narrative that we think racism existed, or we think that the white man was against us, or we think that the government was against us. Come, knock that off, man. Like we got more than enough history, documented facts, even presently, that black people face way more opposition in this society than any other demographic. So you're gonna have to miss me with that nonsense, man. It's late in the day.
I think a lot of that data is not as accurate as you think it is, but
Isaac has made a good point down below. I'm reading the comments too. That is very true because I did that. I wrote something. Oh, he said sometimes they don't go and get the bottom of the barrel, but they'll get a good man and mess it up. And yeah, that's true. That's true. And it's a reason for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have again. Y'all made a couple of different comments. I'm not sure who made it. I think Pete said this one. He said that the black community is led by the black woman, and I disagree. I think that our community is led by white men. Our community is led by our government, not by black women. Black women responded to Ice Cube the way they were told to respond to Ice Cube.
And the pearls and the chucks.
I think to play devil's advocate, I think Peter's saying that they lead the cultural mentality.
They don't even lead the culture.
Man.
Hey, the devil don't need an advocate. This is what I'm saying. Look, this is what I'm saying.
They got Trey Songz.
This is what I'm saying. Look,
hold on.
I'm gonna say this and then I'll jump off and let Oak rock. But what I'm saying is this, and Oak made this point a couple weeks ago. Whoever pays you is your master. That's who you beholden to. That's why politicians have lobbyists. Whoever pays you, whoever's paying your bills, that's who you beholden to. And so you got these scenarios where you have all these black women on TV. Who's paying them? But yet and still we're thinking that they represent, and they do influence the black mentality for sure when it comes to the populace. That's what they're there for. But again, they're parroting narratives of those who's got their purse strings, right? So again, I say the black community is not led by black women. Black women are beholden to those who pay them, even if that means.
Vaughn, who you say was leading the mentality? Vaughn, who you say was leading the mentality? Did you say somebody was leading the mentality? Did you be? I'm trying to recall what you said about. You said somebody's leading the mentality, right?
I'm not sure what you referencing, but what I'm saying is, even when you go back to the welfare housing, they don't not have black men in the welfare housing because they just don't want men. They don't have black men in the welfare housing because white men have told them, you can't have black men here.
Well, that's not true, right? So we always assume Section 8, which keeps the man out the house. We know about that, right?
Hold on, Pete.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let Logan handle the Section 8.
I'm not even gonna handle Section 8. I'm gonna get back to the original topic. The one thing that I do agree with is men don't ask for permission. Adults don't ask for permission, right? Mm-hmm. It's better to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. If it's yours, take it. I believe in manifest destiny. I grew up in Chicago doing tour for us. Your block was Vice Lord. I pull out these pistols. Now your block is GD. I believe in manifest destiny. Even it's practiced everywhere. In college, they get the best recruits, and the frats do their little frat dance, and they try to take over the campus. It's a natural, intrinsic, masculine thing. The issue that I have is that, and Pete be doing my disciple work, but Pete still blamed the women. Nothing's a toddler's fault, man. They just adult-sized 4-year-olds. All of this comes down to men. It comes down to the most dangerous person is not a woman, because you can ignore girls. In order for girls to enforce anything, they got to get another man. So the problem is men raised by the girls, right? So you know how I feel, man. Black is for women, gays, and fellas. So let them have what's theirs, man. Let them have what's theirs. It doesn't matter what woman you deal with because women are spoils of war. You got to win a war. It doesn't matter if it's a culture war, an economic war, a physical war. Girls fuck the winners. You know what I'm saying? The problem with tawny men is they include women because of a color, but girls should never be in the room. Girls should be at the party after you win the war. You know what I'm saying? So the cultural problem is a problem of egalitarianism. It's a problem of seeing equality where equality doesn't exist. It's a problem of empowering women when you feel powerless. It's a goofy ass dude problem. You know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, like nothing will come of anything until you do something. If you build it, people will come.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily think that women want to lead.
Yeah.
I don't. I believe that men believe that women want to lead because women are put in front of them from birth through puberty. So you got your mom, your grandma, your babysitter, every teacher 1st through 5th grade. You ain't seen a black man in your school in a position of authority until you see that one dude that works at the school that's the janitor / basketball coach / gym coach with 14
lunch teacher.
Right, with 140 keys on that big ass.
Right.
So your entire life you're seeing women in a position of authority, and girls don't know shit. They just do shit. So now you're confused about what it is that you have to do, and you don't understand. And another reason that women really can't lead is because there's no penalty for it. So even if it's a mistake, oopsie, she'll still not be homeless.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So you have
I
to go back.
can't really rebuttal that part.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. So it behooves a person to do what's in their own best self-interest, and then do what's in the best self-interest for the people in their property. And if the community that you've been redlined in doesn't do what's best for anybody that's not a jester and a minstrel, then it's just not conducive to people that read above a 6th grade level. You just got to move around.
Mm-hmm. And this is why I say if a black man to build, it doesn't have to include or it has to exclude black women.
Okay, well,
and I want to address the government thing. Can I address that real quick? Right. Everybody keeps saying the government, right? And when they say government, they said they gave housing to women, and everybody knows about Section 8. But when you ask them why do they call it Section 8, is because there's 7 sections before and 40 sections after, right? To build the projects, it's the first 3 sections. Most Jews use Section 3, which allowed the husband in the household. Most black folks, you could pull it up. Section 3 allowed the husband and the wife to get subsidized housing as long as he was a minority. And what was it? First one fired, last one hired. So who falls into that? The black husband. So to sit here and say, oh, the government just only handed out to women. No, they handed out 48 sections. The problem is, folks don't read. And a lot of women abandoned their husband or their man, the father of the children, and say, yeah, he's not with me. So they put him on Section 8. And now she got housing. But if she really looked into it and read it, like the movie Claudine, and asked for the other sections, she would have saw Section 3, and it would have said, oh, the husband is included as long as he fits these criteria. So this, and I'm going to say that being from New York, I know a lot of Jews did that because a lot of Jews will own their buildings or their tenement, and they'll hook the other Jews up, give the man a job, but because he was considered a minority, because minority was more than just black folks, and they would hook each other up.
Oh, wait.
The man is in a household.
Can I add to that government? Because I did write about that yesterday, and I did blame the government and a couple of other things, but I didn't mean it as far as the government just being the sole. Yes, it happened. However, it wasn't what you explained. Yes, that is true. People that research, that's true. However, it wasn't the effect of that. It's the mentality that came from the welfare. See, here's the thing, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to offend no one because I'll go there. As far as like who's ever watching, I hope So I'm being real raw here. The thing is, every other race take care of their poors. They don't want nothing to do with them, though. They don't. If you look at every other ethnic culture of people, they can't stand their poors. They throw shit at them so they can stay on the other side of the tracks. So that's what the white folks did for their own.
Yep.
And they did that. Then they picked the $5 Indian, all that stuff. We know about that. See, what happened is, yes, the welfare got created for them, but we ended up benefited from it too. The government killed two birds with one stone. They got their poor whites, taken care of so they could shut up and be happy and let the elites be who they are. Then they got the black folks, and then they getting crumbs. So the thing is, that changed the mentality, because what happens when you start getting welfare? You don't compete. You can't. You don't compete, and it changes your mentality. So if she's dependent on that check, she's not looking at her man as a man no more. He can't get no damn job. He probably on drugs. And like I said, the weak fail. And the people who we're talking about, as far as the delinquents and the degenerates, those are the offsprings. Some made it and most didn't. And they're still there reproducing, and they keep reproducing. And yes, it has become a problem. Unfortunately, it's not the children's fault, but the government did have a hand in it, because even after slavery, we were still getting married.
Yeah.
Can I rebuttal something that Mitch said in a comment?
Go ahead.
Mitch has a comment, said the government attacked black families and then brought the programs to the rest of America. They didn't attack black families. They attacked black men. Women still got careers. In fact, they still getting addicted in order to get houses. Bitches can't read. They just get degrees from fucking University of Phoenix and then say they got the most.
Straight up.
But I see DC college ass bitches. Anyway, here's the thing with that. It's not that they brought the programs to anybody. It's that people ask for the programs because they don't want to do shit. They just want to get shit. Here's what racism. I'll tell you what's racist. What's racist is the projects. The fact that they build housing communities to house the second wave immigrants, because they would rather hire a foreigner that they also hate than hire the highly skilled people that came out of slavery. That's racism. Racism is Asians being able to get a economic base because white people didn't want to support black people so much, even though they shopped at the same stores, that they would rather a Chinese person open up a convenience store that both blacks and whites shop in, but they wouldn't go to that same store if it was black owned. That's racism, right? And that's prejudice. This is not what that's not what we're going through, right? Because when we're attacked, I don't care who the we is, right? If me, Pete, Vaughn, and Quasi, we were attacked, right? We will all either fight or flee together. We came together, we lead together. Who they're not going to attack, excuse me, it's her, because they like, why am I hit a girl for, right? Now she might be the instigator of the attack. They may have said something to her she didn't like, but then again, then she still needs men to fight for her. But the people that will be attacked will be the guys. So we'll all either try to make it to the car together, or we'll fight it out in the streets together. That is what it is. When you're telling me that 9% of black women under 50, 9% are married. 9%. Even though 100% of these motherfuckers talk about the 2 marriage proposals they declined in their 20s because they thought they could do better. So somehow they got the kid but not the ring, but they be like, I ain't want that ring and fuck my baby daddy. But you gave him 2 kids, bitch. Like, chicken. See it, and the whole thing is, it's not that women want to leave, it's that women want to create chaos. And if they're with somebody who's structured, then she can't create chaos. That is a natural female thing. It's a toddler thing. It's a 4-year-old. It's a 4-year-old that goes into the flower, and you see him, he got flour all over himself. You like, God damn, I gotta clean the kitchen from this 4-year-old. But they 4. And that's the same mentality at 34, and now they fucking up the whole community. Talking about, can you clean up the community? No. Too old for this shit. What they need is adult supervision. But all the men want to be under women. I think one of the worst things that I see is men have been conditioned to be so up under women that now governments and foundations only look after black women, right? So they'll be like, Goldman Sachs gave $10 billion to black women, and women have no problem with that. But if Barack Obama gives $20 million to the Big Brother Foundation to make sure that black boys are literate and have after school programs and mentorships, black women say, "What about the girls?" and shut the whole program down so the boys can't get shit neither. I'm saying it the ops, because you can't tell me that I can't eat, I can't breathe, I can't move or motivate or build without agitation and without you saying, "What about the women?" It's me going to the school saying, "Let me mentor the boys," and they say, "What about the girls?" It's about me coming through with a Section 3 plan for the head agency, which is a housing and a state acquisition development agency, so men can get the same HUD benefits that women get on Section 8. And they say, "What about the women?" I'm like, "Did you get Section 8, CHAC, Habitat for Humanity, Christian charities? You go to anywhere for 30 days, a little shelter, and they give you emergency housing. Y'all got 1,000,000 housing programs. The only way you can have a vagina and be homeless in America is if you're on heroin. Even crackheads got cribs. Like, so what? Now you telling me that men can't have shit? So you can't tell me motherfuckers ain't the ops. And these are the highly educated, fucking published author. Look, I know my ops. Y'all keep going off color and saying, "Man, we the same color, so we friends." Nigga, I don't show the family reunions. I don't fuck with family. And a lot of y'all don't either. Y'all got cousins y'all don't like. You telling me you don't fuck with family, but you fuck with a crayon? Y'all got me fucked up. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, man, I do think that that we have a very unique experience in this country. I don't think that any other demographic or any other ethnic group has faced quite what black folk have faced in this country. So just going back to what Oak said a minute ago, how, they would rather hire second wave immigrants than to hire black people, right? I've seen, there's this, I talked about this on my live last night, the I Go Pruitt myth. They talked about the projects in St. Louis, how those were established. And just fast forward, and you could hear some of the conversations that were taking place between the men and the women, and how the system was giving black men so much opposition. They went out of their way to not hire black men. And so black men were struggling tremendously in this society. So the man and the woman would get together and be like, "Yo, they're offering welfare housing, but I can't be there." And so many times they would make a joint decision that it was best for the man to not be in the home. It wasn't that women just categorically said, "All right, the hell with men. We like welfare better than we like our man." Come on, man, stop that shit. What it really was, in many cases, was that the man and the woman sat down and the man said, "Hey, if I stay, nobody eats. We are already struggling to eat. And if I stay, nobody eats. If I leave, even if I'm homeless, at least my wife and my child, or my wife and my multiple children, get to eat. So I'm out of here, and I'm going to go out here and make my way the best way I can." Now, this is a common thing. This ain't just a rare or one-off.
It happens.
Right? And so you would have to ignore the testimony of these men and the testimony of the women they collaborated with and the testimony of their children to maintain this stupid narrative that black men just got walked over or pissed on because the women wanted independence of powdered eggs and powdered milk and overcrowded houses.
But there's a balance to that. There's a balance to that, though. Here's the thing. All of those things are true at the same time. And also, many black women got bamboozled. They got bamboozled with the feminine movement, because here's the thing. White women have a problem with their husbands. We didn't have no problem. How do we have a problem with our husbands when it's their husbands are suppressing everybody else? We didn't have no problem. We gotta live. We tired of seeing our husbands getting lynched and shit. Ain't nobody having no problems with our husband when we trying to get him home. We ain't have no problems. But see, women wanting to be accepted and wanting to be all inclusive in that woman, fuck that woman shit. I'm for my family. Them hoes don't pay no rent here. No mortgage, no rent, no nothing, no bills, nothing. So the thing is, once the black woman gets that in her head to where your tribe is the family you created, you don't have to join no movements. I've seen too many black women marching with Black Lives Matter. I was like, what the fuck? Go home and feed your kids. The fuck is you doing out there marching? Stupid. Going. Just getting bamboozled every fucking angle. You out there with pearls and chucks. Stupid. She don't even like you. She ain't got damn black woman working with her, but you got the nerve to go buy some damn pearls and chucks. So we get bamboozled easily because we work with our emotions. Stupid. And that's why we sometimes choose wrong. Now I'm just saying. But I'm saying that's why, because working with your emotions all the time, you can't see clearly. You drop logic.
And I want to say something, right? Because if you, I hear what Vaughn said, and I'm not saying that didn't exist. It happened in a portion of the homes. But if you ever watched the Donahue special back in the 80s when they talk about these women having these kids, it wasn't because the man couldn't get a job. It was because they just ain't want the man. And these were women being interviewed. You know what I'm saying? So that's why many didn't care.
What
you know
decade?
what I'm saying?
What decade are you referencing? You talking about the 80s?
In the 80s, yeah.
Okay, that's that, and again, that's a product of what happened in the 70s.
Product.
Wait, that's not a product of.
No,
it's not a product of. Let me tell you something. No, check this out.
Okay.
To say that's a product of no.
What's going on, internet land? It's the Fly Bowtie Guy coming live to you to send a reminder to donate to these gentlemen that's giving their time and passion. We're gonna come with some great guests in the future for you guys to entertain you guys and have a good time. And I want to have these guys motivated and giving their best. I want to continue to do these lives for the future. So if you enjoy this show and you want more lives, donate at Tribe Power and show some love. Enjoy the show.
Hey, be careful referencing TV, man. That's scripted.
Shout out to Crazy for being the spokesperson. All right, look, here's the thing. I'm not even referencing TV. I'm out here, bro. My body count is bananas. Here's the thing. To say that is to say that black women are unnatural because they're the only women that don't believe in hypergamy, right? So that's what you're telling me. If you're telling me, because I remember the Donahue show was talking about, and all those was project shit, and they interviewed the project dudes, and the project dudes were like, I was just fucking, I don't want to. Project people gonna do a project people too. They're the trailer park of colors.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't change the fact that I know a girl that's the education department head for a high school I'm not gonna mention in Cook County, and she got 6 kids by 6 niggas, and she's and they all off one night stand. That's her intimacy, and 3 abortions by 2 niggas I was trying to be engaged with. That's something different. There are people out here all the time that do goofy shit. I've actually had a girl tell me that I'm like 5 men, and she'd rather have 5 men than have me because it feels oppressive to have to follow a man. I've heard women ask their men, first of all, who the fuck has a man, and then ask the streets about how to handle a man? I'm pretty sure he told you, but there's a lack of respect. Black women, I'm gonna do a Tyler tell about this. Black women treat black men like white women treat black men. Because y'all are saying to me, Tyler's gonna Tyler. But how white women treat black men is as exotic sex objects, right? A taboo sexual experience.
Fetish.
A fetish. Black women see black men the exact same way. I'll fuck you, but I won't marry you. I got 3 kids now by 3 different niggas, but now I want to brag because he's the epitome of manhood. But if I see a black man who's acting like a man, I'm going to say he's acting white and he's a sellout. I don't have time for these topics. You know what I'm saying? I just don't.
Wow.
Hey, highlight that comment, Black. Miss Sunkiss. When you get to the 80s, you see a pattern of behavior not understood, and the CIA putting drugs in the community. Right? So, again, man, we keep focusing on symptoms of the problem, and I get it. The symptoms are very real, right? Pain is pain, and we're dealing with the reality of what happened, right? So if it's true that the CIA put drugs, put crack in the community and flooded the community with guns and dope and all kinds of stuff, right? Then to me, I mean, again, I understand why we would say, well, damn, look at these effects that these things have had on the community. But again, we can't look past the fact that these things are effects, right? They're not causes.
And they're not true. And it's just not true. For you to say that all of a sudden, for you to say that Coca-Cola was made with cocaine in 1890 or 1910 or whatever, then all of a sudden in 1986 they discovered baking soda and silver spoons. That is not. No, in the 1920s, they was putting heroin in black communities. Still had a 90% marriage rate. In the 1950s, they was putting opium in the community. still had a 90%
still getting married.
rate.
So right.
That has nothing to do with it. You just fucking with terrorists and fucking traitors. That's all it is. There is nothing more disingenuous than making excuses for other people's behavior and breeding patterns, except for the fact that they toddlers and nothing's ever their fault because they don't receive a penalty. Y'all are blaming white supremacy. The only white people y'all see in black communities are teachers and police officers. But you'll say that they the reason that you don't have black stores in your community when your alderman is black and the licensing comes from black people.
You know what the difference is between 1920 and 1980? One major difference. Coming out of slavery, we had a much stronger idea of culture and family, right? So then when you take this community coming out of slavery, right on the heels of slavery, 1900, 1920s, and you have the idea of family that's more intact, your cultural values that are still more intact, they're stronger, right? Even though there's still dysfunctional culture about ideologies because you're coming out of slavery, but still you had a much higher marriage rate. That means you have many more fathers impacting the lives of their children and impacting the decisions of their children, right? So this is 1900. Hold on, let me finish.
I'm going to co-sign your point. I'm going to let you finish, but I just want to say that's the example of us having to fight in the streets. There were no options. The more options they got, the dumber shit they did. But coming out of slavery, all we had was ourselves, so we had to travel. So I'm with you on that. But I'm just saying I don't think it was genuine. I think it was based on necessity. Go ahead.
Yeah, I won't even argue that. I'm just gonna keep moving the football down the field. And so in 1920, we were able to withstand what they were trying to do. And keep in mind, this is to Pete's point, that there was no racism, there was no attack on the black family. They were trying to do it even in the early 1900s, but we were able to withstand that onslaught better because our families were more intact. But as you keep going on and on and on, and the men are less able to find jobs, and the woman sees less value in the man as time goes on, you finally get to the 1960s and the 70s where they keep offering you different things and keep putting further obstacles in your path, like welfare housing, where the man can't be there, or with these stipulations. And then you finally get to the 1980s, your family structure and your community and your culture is so broken down that you're much more susceptible in 1980 to these external influences than you ever were in 1920, right? Yeah. So then again, it's still effects of the assault on the family. This shit is not organic, man. Y'all acting like people just doing great, and all of a sudden, like, hey, let me try crack.
Well,
hey, let me try single motherhood.
We don't. Speaking from a woman's perspective, the thing is, when we talk about these issues, it's not taking any accountability away. Me personally, I owned up to all of my fuck shit. And the thing is, I mentor other women who are younger, who I can see that they doing the same mistakes. I didn't get caught up like the other ones did, but I seen it. I seen the people around me getting pregnant by these different types of individuals. But then I seen the root to why these things were happening. But I don't take anything away from personal choice. Every moment you have a choice. You either have a choice to do something fucking productive, or you got the choice to do some fuck shit. And in most cases, women follow their emotions. And I don't agree with those things, especially when you're a mother. They want to seek something that feel good. Fuck feeling good. Get your legacy in order, then feel good. But they don't. A lot of people don't think like that because, well, a lot of times they just weren't taught. But that still doesn't take away from personal accountability. It really doesn't. And just mentioning the root of the issue is not taken away from, because I hold people accountable, women, men.
And I agree with you so much.
In between.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. We're always saying the root, so it never gets fixed because we don't want to hold a person personally accountable. No. Right? Just because slavery happened has nothing to do with me getting up every morning.
Okay, I get that.
Right. So the same thing is like, it's not that we don't know right or wrong, regardless of the mistakes your parents made. Right and wrong growing up. If you touch this, you'll get burned, or selling drugs is illegal. Because if you didn't know it was illegal, you just be out there selling crack. Right. You don't look out for the police, but it's wrong because you got to look out for the police. So it's a criminal act. So don't tell me.
How many women are doing this? How many women are telling other women? How many women are checking other women? Because we can be, I'm gonna get on it right now. Women can be in a girlfriend circle and they will not check their friend for being a shitty mama.
But here's the thing. I want to.
We gotta check each other.
No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's where I disagree. I disagree with you, and I agree with like 97% of the stuff you said, but I disagree that women don't teach other women because that's where they got it from. You know what I'm saying? They got it from the bra burning married women who told their daughters they didn't need a man. They got it from so you're looking at a situation where they are brought and bred to be like, forget those dudes. I grew up in a household, I got sisters. I listened to the rules that my parents gave my sisters and the adverse rules that they gave me, and I'm like, nah, I like my sister rules better. She got to have her own money, make sure she can pay for her own way. So yeah, I like that because that you know what I'm saying. Because I'm cool. I ain't got you telling me I got to pay. No, I ain't got to pay because you just told my sister make sure she can pay for herself, so she don't, so nobody feel entitled. I feel entitled, so I ain't gonna pay because if I pay, you gonna lay, and that's how we gonna play it. So instead, I won't do nothing. So you can't give me a separate rule book, right? We're not talking gender. We're talking about cultural norms. We're talking about the same cultural norms, the same girls who couldn't get housing with a man in a house, but they intentionally getting pregnant by dudes who couldn't provide a house. And then
They
you're looking
teach
at
them properly. They're not teaching properly. That's the thing. I wrote that out too. The wisdom, the maternal wisdom that they needed is 4 or 5 generations back. They didn't get it.
And that maternal wisdom came from balance, right?
But they think that history came from the color purple.
Again,
That's what I was about to say. The color purple.
That's what they think about. It's like, oh yeah, grandma got beat like Steely. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna follow that. I'm gonna follow. You know what I'm saying? These liberals.
Look, somebody said that. Somebody said just because you point out the origins of a dysfunction does not mean you dismiss personal accountability and proper decision making. You still have to look where we are right now. Is in order to recover. Let's just say we're all this crayon that Oak always talking about, right? And let's just say black people, right? We're in this position that we're in right now, and it's fully our responsibility to recover from whatever it is that we're experiencing. But we are not the reason why we are where we are. Again, the contributing factors that led to where we are were not internal, right? These are things that were externally imposed, and now we are where we are. But it's still our responsibility to overcome it and do whatever. And along the way, there were still decisions that were made in order to contribute to the dysfunction that we're experiencing right now. But here's the thing: when you look at the average Asian child, and you can talk about whether it's Vietnam, whether it's an Indian child, whether it's Chinese, Japanese, doesn't matter. They are all typically synonymous with academic excellence. Right? First generation, particularly in this country. First generation Asians in this country, they excel academically, not because they're organically smarter than everybody else. They excel academically because it's culturally unacceptable for them not to excel.
Yeah,
that's not true, but I see where you're going with it.
I'm married to a foreigner, so it's my daughters can't bring home anything less.
Okay. And you can extend that to Nigerian. I mean, first generation Americans, they are on it. They grind, they hustle. But once your culture comes to America, I don't care what background you come from. Once you start getting a second, third, and fourth generation in America, this is where your culture comes to die, right? And so when you get to that fourth, right? So again, we're talking about something that's happening to people who are known for academic excellence, and then within 2-3 generations, they're looking at their children like, I don't even know you. So then imagine the black people that have been here for 8, 10, 15 generations. What impact do you think the society is having on them? We can't pretend like this shit is just not happening, man.
No, I'm not saying that these things don't exist. We're always going to be at war, no matter what. Everybody's at war.
But you dismiss
look, the elite always been war with the poor, and if you are part of the poor, you're always at war.
Still ain't nobody.
No matter whatever country you look at, historically, people act like black people are the only ones to be enslaved, the only ones to go to war, and nobody else went through it, and somehow we are more oppressed. But let me break down the real shit. You know what I'm saying? If you look today at the numbers, right, and we saying, oh, we're so oppressed in the 80s, yet black men, right, 20% increase in the wealth spectrum as far as being in the middle class increase, a 50% decrease in poverty. You know what I'm saying? Black men with a 30% decline in incarceration, right? And black men, amongst all the bullshit is happening, no jobs and all of that, 72% of black fathers are married, 16% are cohabitating. So 88% of black fathers you know what I'm saying, are in the
Respect, yeah.
house. So even though we were attacked the most, we were attacked more than black women because black women was given at least a place to stay and some food in the house. We weren't
That was
given
part of the
shit.
attack, though.
Somehow we tend to improve
part of the
our
attack.
situation on our own.
But here's the thing. Here's
Let me finish on this, because I was on something. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, like, I get it. Yes, it's always war, but we keep bringing it up. That shit happened whenever. What are we doing today? What is it now? Like, is it
I only
because
bring it
of
up in
slavery?
response. I only bring it up in response to when you start trying to say, "Well, it's all the black woman's fault." And
No,
so
I'm
when you
I'm
start
not
talking
saying
about
all. I'm
origins of
saying that the
behavior,
community is
you
being
go
led
ahead.
by black women, and we're
It's
looking
not,
at the
though.
numbers. Right? Look at
It's
the
not.
jail numbers. Look at everything that negative is black that happens to black people. They always say 76, like incarcerated folks. 76% of them come from single mother homes. Every time you take a single mother home, the child has a 75 to a 90% chance of failure. You
Yes.
get what I'm saying? And
Yes.
because women in black women and most have been creating this, right? We
No.
can't deny it. I'm look, everybody got fucked over in America, and it's what you do with it. And my thing is, since really the 80s, you know what I'm saying? Like, look what's happening now. And my thing, like, one of the questions, and
Women
we
don't
can
have a
move
great
into it.
history.
You know, but here's the thing: every time we try to say, "Hey," I'm not blaming everything. I'm just saying this is where we fucked up at, right?
Who's we?
I believe black men fucked up by empowering and putting all their power in black women and not empowering themselves. I think black women fucked up by, having children out of wedlock and not looking at legacy or building a family, just having children for the benefits. I'm isolating the issues. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, you just blame the mother." I'm trying to isolate where it fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's no different than if we were playing ball. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna blame the catcher for not catching. You're gonna blame the pitcher for not pitching. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna improve each one. You're gonna do that. And I'm trying to say, if we're trying to improve the community, let's just hold each other accountable for the shit that they fucked up on.
You know how
But
you do that?
hold on. Every time I say
I agree with that, Isaac.
black women,
Isaac.
when I say black women, because when you look at the numbers at a higher rate, 56%, that's over 50% of black mothers are single and solo. Every other race of women are not even that high. And then we look at the failure rate from it. Something has to change. Men can't control a woman's womb. And so we gotta say, hey, check this out.
No argument with that, but look at what Isaac said.
Yeah, but every time I bring that up, the first thing we talk about slavery, oppression, we lost the war, men got defeated.
No, I came up with a solution. I came up with a solution for that. And the thing is, once I have a platform, I am going to do my best to help women.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, a lot of them, they claim they can't find a good man. I've never had that experience, ever.
I've never had that experience either. I'm with you.
Yeah, I've never had that experience. I probably had a couple of them that I could filter through, and then but it wasn't a memorable experience because I didn't stick around long. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, I had a good father. I have a great father, and then I have my grandfather. So I seen what I wanted in a man. So a lot of times women use their fathers to mirror. We'll look at our grandpas, we'll look at our uncles. Some of these women, they just didn't have that, not making an excuse. But that's why I want to help, because I'm just like, how the hell do you get the bottom of the barrel when you have all these events with men that are intellects? They don't want that. A lot of times they don't want that. And what did Atlas say? He broke it down. You got the breeders, you got the concubines, and you got the husbands. A lot of women are drawn to those breeders. Those are the ones that lay the pipe. They want that pipe. Again, emotional decisions. They looking for an orgasm. Fuck that. Get your kids secured.
I want to kind of fight back on that real quick. On the women want a breeder. Women want to be breeders. Men don't breed. But here's the thing. What they want is control. It has nothing to do with the sex. It has something to do with the control, right? I could be dirty folks all day and girls will give me pussy like, oh my God, till they find out I don't have a parole officer and I got a college degree. I can get pussy from a girl at a business expo all day because, oh my God, he's so intelligent, he works his business, until they find out that just because I'm smart doesn't mean I don't have common sense and street savvy when they try to get over.
Right.
The thing that toddlers can't do is just play fair. Just fucking play fair. You know what I'm saying? When I say 2 + 2 is 4, don't tell me 2 + 2 is 22 because there's 2 2s and I ain't add them together right. Just play fair.
There are some of us who are wise, who are willing to play fair. However, I can admit I haven't always played fair. I can admit that shit. But when I met a man that I knew I couldn't get shit over on, I had no choice but to fucking play fair.
Okay, so the flip side of that is
but I'm on.
You could have left. Here's the thing. I got a homegirl right now. She called me with a wire. Well, I FaceTime her. She had a wire on her jaw talking about her ex-boyfriend busting the house. Hit her with the pistol and put the gun to her daughter's head and said she'd kill the kid if the girl left her. Here's the thing. I didn't feel sympathy. Beautiful, gorgeous woman, gorgeous. The reason I didn't feel sympathy is because I know she's gorgeous, and I've had conversations with you over the course of years. You done passed up the fireman, the doctor, the lawyer, the garbage man, the big time dope dealer, the dude that worked at UPS. So fuck with a nigga from the projects. Somebody he had time. Of course he had time. Don't fucking get no job. The shit that people put themselves in and want other people to bail themselves out of ain't my concern.
I don't have sympathy. I don't have sympathy for those types, and I'm a woman. And you would think I would, as I'm a woman. I don't have no sympathy for that. I don't. I don't even go to the baby showers. I don't have.
To me, it's not about having sympathy as much as it's about having understanding, right?
I have to understand.
I know what I understand. You know what I understand.
But you need sympathy and compassion.
No, I don't. I don't need none of that shit.
When I talk about again, when I go back to 1900s and all this other stuff, that's only in response to what we're saying, what you guys are presenting right now as, look at the problem, and you're saying that as if the women are only causing these problems. I mean, you got black women being killed every 5 hours due to domestic violence. Who's checking the men?
They need to check
men. Men need to check men.
Every 30 minutes, men are getting killed. No, because if she shut the fuck up, she would get her ass beat.
Can I finish?
That's not all the time.
That's not all the time.
Cases, some men are really psychotic out here.
Some women, that's the highest level of domestic violence is women.
I just want to finish.
I
just want to finish my point. I just want to finish. That's all.
All right.
So I'm saying every 5.5 hours that there's a black woman in this country being murdered due to domestic violence. You can't now, even if you want to say half.
But is that men? Is that all done by black men?
Primarily.
What's the
primarily. Look at
no. If you say primarily, what's the percentages? Because for you to say primarily means you need to know the percentages.
I don't remember the statistics off the top of my head.
Because there's no statistics that tell you they combine it all together.
Wait, let him finish his point.
I would like to finish my point. I just want to finish my point before y'all say that.
I understand why they get killed.
I just want to finish my point before y'all say that.
Go ahead, my bad.
So we got 5.5 hours. A black woman is being murdered in this country every 5.5 hours. We know that if you want to do statistics, that statistically most relationships are heterosexual relationships, right? So we know that men are the ones doing the most of these crimes, just like pedophile and sexual molestation. We know that about 90% of all sexual abuse is done by men.
No.
Yeah, they are.
No.
Google it. Don't argue with me. Just Google it real quick.
No.
Go ahead and Google it real quick.
Wait, no, stop.
Go ahead and Google it. Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point while you Google.
You're conflating sexual assault with rape. It can only be
let me finish my point while you Google.
Women have all the access to kids. Every girl I know has some aunt that touched her pocketbook. No.
Let them finish. You can respond.
I'm not just talking about rape. I'm including rape, but I'm talking about sexual abuse crimes across the entire spectrum. About 90% of all sexual abuse crimes. Right? This is a Google search. You can Google that.
My point came through and knocked their ass out. Girls is just as predatory as boys. Who starts to live? Let's show me yours. I show you mine. It's girls.
No, they're not. I'm not saying that girls don't do it. I'm not saying that females don't do it.
Man.
What I'm saying.
There you go, my boy Biden.
I'm not saying that females don't do it. I know that females can be treacherous. I'm not saying that girls are full of sugar and spice and everything nice. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the overwhelming majority of all sexual abuse that takes place in this country is done by men. And I'm saying better than 80%. I'm saying much closer to 90%.
Even in the military.
Fact check me. So again, when we talk about, and even when you talk about violence in this country, I mean, you talk about women being emotional. There's nothing emotional about shooting up the club. Ain't nothing emotional about gang banging. I mean, ain't nothing logical. I'm sorry, about gang banging. Ain't nothing logical. Well, there is on some level, right? But I'm talking about the type of violence that we experience, the type of senseless violence that we experience, where like you just got shot. Somebody putting a gun to your back. He didn't even ask you for your damn wallet before he shot you. Ain't nothing logical about that. That's pure emotion or fear or whatever it is. Our men are doing a lot of reckless things in our community too. So for us to just say the problem is that women won't follow, come on, man, that's dumb. That's really
hold on. Shout out to Vine, man. We smell thugging on y'all.
I'm just saying, come on, man. If we're gonna talk turkey, let's talk it, man. But come on with the we being emotional right here by saying it's all the girls' fault.
The emotions are too high on both ends of the spectrum. Just even go look at the groups, because the thing is, all day those profiles are fake profiles, and they'll put up a topic, right? They'll say some shit. The person's in China. They don't even look at who's posting this shit, right? And if you look under the thread, you'll see you got a whole bunch of people just arguing back and forth, and the person who started is not even black. So it's the black women and black men both going at it.
We get pimped.
Isaac said, black women are setting up, brother.
Hold on. All I'm saying is this, man. Look, people emotional. Sure, everybody can't be a sociopath. But what I'm saying is this. No, for real. Most domestic violence comes from something. It doesn't come out the blue. Most sexual assaults that's reported, just like most domestic violence that's reported, are always, the man is always accused. It doesn't mean the man hit first. Most times, men trying to leave the house, he done hit him with a frying pan or something, you know what I mean, and started the fight, but he gets arrested. So I don't go for them scary numbers. Most sexual assault, rape men all day, men. Most sexual assaults are women. Is that
statistical? Is that statistical? Or is that your emotions?
That's not my emotions. That's life experience. You could talk to any man who didn't get married at 16 years old, and they'll tell you about a girl that tried to molest him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, you saying statistically women molest more than men? That's the stats?
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you.
Hey,
nobody. No. Here's the difference.
Yeah.
No. Nobody reports when they auntie touch their pocketbook.
I don't want no excuses.
Nobody reports when they big cousin set little cuz up for failure. Nobody reports that. You don't tell your parents. You don't tell nobody. And most times when boys get sexually assaulted, they think it's a come up. So they really not reporting. They telling their friends like, yo, it is what it is.
I could give you that context that a lot don't get reported. So
but
majority don't. I mean, look at it like this, right? Look at what's happening. If a grown man touches if a grown man messes with a grown male teacher, messes with a student, a female student, it'll be a crazy outrage. Men of this, men of that. But look how many female teachers are being caught having sexual relationship with boys, and that's just the ones being caught. So you know what I'm saying? Like I can tell you, yo, look, dude. Before I was an adult, you know what I'm saying? Grown women will do shit.
No,
so,
I can make
I won't go sit there and say that.
Look at Mr. Common. Look at Mr. Common. He said he lost his V card to an older woman.
Right. You ask every man, they lost their virginity. A majority of them lost their virginity to a grown woman, and their first sexual experience was with a grown woman. So the thing is, the stats that you're pulling off of Google is only pulling off what's reported. And when you look at this, and here's the thing: do you know two domestic partners that are females have the highest rate of violence than it is man and woman? And do you know 70% of domestic violence is initiated by women? You know what I mean? So the only outcome is the murder, and then we talk about that, but nobody talks about. I mean, look, I was doing research. Yo, there's no platform for men that are abused by women. The majority of men who report it, the cops be like, well, you're stronger, you're a man, you're supposed to handle that.
I used to abuse men, and they never.
Land. I want to send a reminder to Cash App Tribe Power and donate some love to these gentlemen that's giving their time and their passion. Enjoy the show.
All right. I just want to say we need the money so Quasi can buy more hats. That's
Yeah, shout out to Quasi and say, I need more hats. More hats to match every outfit. I need more hats.
You know.
Yeah, none of the men I heard ever reported it. You're right, because I was abused. I was definitely an abuser and
sexual abuser.
And it.
No. But I used to.
That's two different conversations we're having.
No.
Because
I'm sorry.
Look, girls have tried to sexually abuse me. My sister friends, she was 19. I was like 10 or 9.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like sexually abuse happened too. The whole, there's nothing that a man is reported doing that women aren't capable of.
Hey, what about this comment right here? Most men lost their virginity to a grown man. Grown men.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Most men. What type of?
Most men. Yeah. I just grown women. This is a grown man.
I told you.
Well, if a grown man did it, it's because the mother gave access.
Now that's another thing.
Why you always lying?
I got a survey for y'all right here. The 2010 National Inmate Partner and Sexual Violence Survey. 90% of the perpetrators of sexual violence against women are men. Moreover, men are victims of sexual assault, an estimated 71%, an estimated 1 in 71 men, right? And 1 in 6 boys. So that's still, even if you say 1 in every 6 boys, that's still a lot of boys. However, the percentages, the statistics, because y'all like slapping me with stats when they favor you, but
no. I'm not knocking your stats. Can I ask you a question? Do you believe that all crimes are based on vicinity?
Say again?
Do you believe that the majority of crimes are based on vicinity?
Vicinity, yeah. Proximity, yeah.
Okay, vicinity, proximity. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I already just said that most boys raised by single mothers don't even see a man unless it's most kids don't see a man unless it's their mama boyfriend from birth through 6th grade. They reach puberty before they're around other men. So either women are doing it or women are giving men access to do it. So either way, it's a poor. It still relates.
Personal responsibility, right?
You know who not gonna get fucked with? If I have a seed, because they're gonna be Oak Boy. Like wherever you go, he ain't gonna have no name until that nigga grown. Like, oh, that's Oak Boy. And ain't nobody gonna fuck with Oak Boy because they know Oak coming and Oak coming with everybody.
Yeah.
So people don't even want those problems. People
say what?
The whole
as a mom to sons, I want to clarify. No, never any sexual assault type shit. I don't condone no shit like that.
Right, so I don't want to conflate the two. I know that.
What are you talking about?
But I mean, every time you bring up the stats, you bring it up one sided, and this is why we're deflecting it. Because hold on. You're only saying it as only black women are victims of all these sexual abuse.
I'm not.
As a matter of fact, so then tell me how come you don't ever say what's the stats of black men being killed?
I said women, bro. That was the conversation, not just black women.
He said women, but here's the thing. I've been accused of domestic abuse while I was at work because some goofy bitch had a thought in her mind. I've had chicks woke up at 2 a.m. and said, I had a dream you was cheating, and the police flashed a light in my face, like, you got to get the fuck out. Like, what the fuck? Girls are nuts. I don't believe that shit because
you got to own the choice that you made in selecting her and making her your woman.
I own the choice of me fucking, but
but
even if I own the choice, we talking about the report because I'm not with him now, so I own the choice and I remove myself. But I removed myself after this nutty bitch did it, so she still did it. You know what I'm saying?
Look, most of us as young men, especially, right? Because this was some time ago when these things happened to you, but even a lot of us mature, a lot slower due to our circumstances, whatever they may be, right? But so
because
most of us as young men, we are so invested in getting that nut. We just want the butt. We just want the girl. We just want the sex, right? And nobody's talking to us in large part about purpose, right? Mm-hmm. And being purposeful with who we lay with. And so we find ourselves laying with women who really don't deserve our time. About 90% of the women that you won't come across are a waste of your romantic interest. They're a waste of your time.
95. I totally
95. Right, but we still spending 95% of our sexual time with these women, right? So again, when we have these outcomes, it ain't just you got men in this situation making some piss poor choices too. So
wait, stop. Here's the thing. Here's the difference. Because men have to hunt, right? So where you hunt is where you hunt. So if I'm making a decision based on her story about childhood rape, what she want to be when she grow up, how many kids she got, how many kids she want, the degree she want, the degree she got, all that bullshit girls tell you that first 45 minutes of a conversation so they can say, I felt like I know you my whole life, so they can fuck you, whatever the fuck that shit is. That's still not who she is. You don't know a person until sex or money is involved. So until I fuck her, I don't know her. Or until she pay me, I don't know her. So you don't really know a person until sex or money is involved. So now after you bust, now she comes out and say, you know what? I'm just a nutty bitch. And I'm like, yo, I already peeped that. Thank you. Appreciate the pussy. Leave $40 on the nightstand. The thing is, here's the thing. Men aren't taught. You said men don't date for purpose.
I didn't say that. I said we're not taught that.
Okay,
I never even had a conversation about purpose until I was a grown man.
You know what? I'm giving you that because I was raised by a baby boomer, and baby boomers is just the most horrible generation ever. Horrible from top to bottom, just horrible.
And not organically either. They inherited a very destructive and dysfunctional culture too.
I don't know, man.
They different. They a different.
Culture was good when your dad was
born. They separated themselves. They went to college and they followed the liberal.
We was cool. Your dad was probably born what in the 40s, 50s.
He was born
30, I think 32 or 34.
Okay, so you're saying that the culture for black people when your dad was born 1930, 40, 50, we was Gucci, we was cool.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not. I'm not economically. It's not what I'm saying. Well, my
socially either.
Okay, that's fine. But at the same point, no. Listen, what I'm saying. But at the same point, there are certain things. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example because I don't know a better way to say it than how my friends in interracial relationships say it. This is the best way I have to say it. Is how they say it to me. They're like, yo, you too smart for a black girl. You need to date a Mexican or something. And I'm like, yo, is it better? Hold on. I'm gonna tell you exactly what they all say. None of them know each other. I've traveled South Dakota, Texas, Atlanta, Florida, all of them say California. All of them say the exact same thing though. None of them know each other. And I say, man, he said, man, we got regular problems. We don't have that extra black girl problem. Shit, we just got regular relationship problems that you can deal with. He's like, bro, it's just less stressful. He's like, man, you just don't even understand how better it is just to have regular problems. I'm saying the same thing about the forgotten generation, or if you want to call them the civil rights generation. Mm-hmm. They had racial problems, racism problems, but we had them in the 1980s. But they had regular problems. These fucking boomers is extra. They just super extra. The things that they have done, they're the most cowardly generation too. But my grandfather told me he just passed a couple weeks back. But they shot back. Now you want to march 45 motherfucking blocks with a sign and crayon talking about some free my mind. They was busting back. Like they operated as men. What happened was what the black community allowed to happen, and boomers allowed this to happen, and I'm not saying that they knew right from wrong, but it happened under the boomers' watch. What they allowed people to do was they allowed their wives to get them set up in white neighborhoods because she wanted to be like the Joneses. Because ain't no man, you ain't never heard no single man like, yo, I was just single, yo, and bought a house so they can burn crosses in front of my lawn, yo. No, it was always a married couple because this goofy bitch didn't want to live around our people, so she could do goofy bitch shit. And then they took their smartest and brightest kids and shipped them out to the dumbest white schools to keep the dumbest white schools open and indoctrinate their smartest kids. So you took your resources out your community and you took your intelligence out your community, and now your community is shit. And now you say, man, I need all y'all motherfuckers who work so hard to get out the community to come back to the community and fix this shit, but I'm not gonna listen to you.
Can I respond to something that you stated? Actually, and I really like how real you are with this because I was just talking to my husband about this, and this isn't something that I could like talk about to anybody. But back in the day, I would have black men tell me like, you're the first black woman I've ever dated. And I'm like, wow, and a lot of times like, you're different. You talk different. You act different. I don't really have too much rhythm. Can't dance. I grew up in a white town, so the way I talk is just the way I talk. But the thing is, I understand what you mean by that peace. I do, because I've heard it. I mentor people, so they open up to me and they're sincere with what they're saying. A lot of times men are like, look, I am physically attracted to Black women, but some of the stuff I can't handle. I just want peace.
I say it all the time. I have 100 wives if I can marry a photo, but all these chicks talk. I feel you.
Yes. Now, that's a very strong point, and maybe a lot of sisters will be looking at me like, oh, she just to pick me. No, I got a fucking point. Here's the thing. I talk like this. I listen to Metallica and Slipknot. I got tattoos. I'm kind of alternative. But the thing is, I get treated differently for that. And the thing is, I've never really been accepted. Like when I was younger, I was never really accepted in the Black girl circles too much. So I was kind of, pushed aside. So if I was done that way, I understand how some men are done. Okay. And I understand how you're being told, oh, you're too smart. The thing is, the intellectual Black women, we exist. The problem is the things that they're interested in. There is no way that I would be functional like this if I had on Love and Hip Hop on my TV. I was listening to Dish Nation, keeping up with fucking I don't even know a lot of these people. Cardi, I know about the entertainers, but I don't keep up with that shit. I can't. That don't have room in my headspace because I got daughters I have to raise. I'll be damned if any of my daughters see any of that degenerate shit. They don't know about it. They don't even understand it. So the thing is, a lot of women just got to pull out from those low vibrational things and just literally focus on what the fuck they need to focus on. They focus on themselves, heal themselves. You'll attract the man that's on that frequency. Same with the man. You'll attract your mate. But the thing is, you really have to take accountability for your choices. You really have to take accountability.
Could I do a little redirect, right? Because one of the things that and this is just my personal outlook is we could talk about the problems, we could talk about the symptoms, we could talk about, like what Vaughn say, the root and everything, right? But the reason why I'm always away from the root is like, how do we solve it now? Because I have a few questions, and Quasi has in a private thing. I'm gonna skip to number 3. It's saying, starting from today, removing all historical issues, right? Welfare, Jim Crow, you know what I'm saying? All of that. Dealing with the condition. Can't bring up root problems, what caused it. It is here, whatever it is, right? It is what it is, right? It's kind of like an ailment. You know what I'm saying? You ate bad.
What do we do, right?
You ate bad, you gained some weight, now you got a little high blood pressure. It is reversible if you do these things, but you have to always understand where you're at and not, so my thing is, starting from today, removing historical issues, how should Black men move forward? Because everybody's looking at us to lead and everybody's looking at us to build. And then how should Black women move, in regards to wanting Black men to build and lead? I'm adding that part so we can have 2 components. So Star, if you want to.
For women, just basically filter better. Mothers, teach your daughters how to filter men. When me and my mother watched movies, we didn't watch movies for entertainment. She used to pause that shit and be like, what did you learn from what he just did to her? Okay, so which man would you choose out of these? I'm 10 years old. I'm just like, I don't fucking know. But if she never gave me that education, I would have been just like some of these other ones out here. I was pretty. Shit, I could have fell. I did fall. Got right back up though. So the women got to start teaching their women how to filter better. That's all that we got to actually teach other women. I don't want to be connected with a woman that is fucking with pookies. We have to tell each other like, hey, sis, you need to really do something. You're attracting the wrong type of shit.
Shout out to Pookie.
Mm-hmm. Now,
women create Pookie though, so shout out to Pookie.
For hold on. Now I'm gonna ask you about for men to build. What would be your
men build? The etymology, the definition of build is dwelling. All right. So the thing is, if you establish your own shit, your dwelling, then that and I'm not necessarily just even talking on a physical sense. Mm-hmm. A woman is going to follow your lead if you stay mentally ahead. And maybe I can explain this in a way that I'm not going too deep in metaphysics and shit. But the thing is, we're constantly thinking all the time. So yeah, like he said, toddler mentality. Now I don't want to limit myself to a toddler. I'm a diehard intellect, but sometimes I have thought I was smarter than my husband in something, and then got bamboozled and have to realize, oh shit, he was right.
But here's the thing: men like toddlers. Men like girls until they 12. When she's talking about science fairs and stuff, just when they get older and don't realize they're toddlers, then like, man, nobody likes a toddler that's in grown people business. But here's the thing:
I'm a toddler that actually can. I'm a toddler with a lot of potential.
Men love toddlers. I mean, everything that women want from a man is toddler shit. You want somebody to entertain you, provide for you, give you residence, you know what I'm saying? Teach you shit. It's all the things a toddler wants.
Right, because guess what? Men need respect and women need love and adoration.
And I understand that because only men can love, but we don't give respect. But here's the thing.
Both of y'all real. I was just having that conversation with somebody.
But here's the thing. The reason, shout out to Pookie. The reason that dudes become Pookie because the captain of the chess team don't get no pussy. So GD nigga. Look, at the end of the day,
high value toddlers, bitches.
Women fuck the logo. When men create a logo, and men create logos, girls don't build shit. They don't start shit. They just fuck up men's fun. They just want to be part of men's shit. When men create the logo, women fuck the logo. If I'm GD, it's girls fucking me to be sisters of the struggle. If I'm an Alpha Phi Omega, girls is fucking me to be AKA. When I turn to a Mason, girls is fucking me to be Eastern Stars. If men sit down and they got the logo, girls will fuck the logo. And at that point, the structure of the logo has to tell the woman what to do. The problem with black women, I'm just being honest, the problem with black women is they fuck the logo, but they don't respect the logo. You know how many girls I know that got pitchforks and GD on their titties and all they kids about vice lords and Latin kings and bloods and shit like that? Fuck. You know what I'm saying? All these goddamn AKA chicks who got kids by gang bangers, all these chicks with degrees who didn't get a husband in college, which you supposed to, come back home to marry a felon. Like, black girls just do everything bass backwards, man. Like, their whole fucking life is chaos. So that's when my man was like, you just get regular problems. I'm like, yo, regular problems.
I have two younger sisters. I have two younger sisters. And my father, you know, he has 3 daughters. All 3 of us turned out, we're all in committed relationships. We're all married. We're all like, you know, but we have our father. He's solid as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So just looking at all 3 of us, and we're black girls, we you know what I'm saying? So looking at 3 of us and our lives, you know, do not reflect, you know, some of these other things that we're speaking on at all. That don't reflect those things. So what if women actually had these father figures? Do you think that they would turn out that way to where they would go pick these pookies?
Yes. They might not pick a pookie, but they still pick a pookie. But they wouldn't have babies by them. They would still fuck them, but they wouldn't have babies by them.
They may.
You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have
shotgun weddings. If they did, it'll be shotgun weddings, which
right. So I mean, don't get it twisted, man. I would love a girl that I can have a conversation with, but I'll still fuck a buster from the project. One thing does not correlate to the other.
Right.
Man, water sees its own level, though. You know what I mean?
No.
Mitchell, I didn't have a great mother, by the way. When you guys were talking about mothers being, you know, sexually assaulting and I was pimped. So my mom took me from my dad when I was 9, and I went through hell. My father's solid, but he
shout out to the testimony.
Not my mother, man. And I went through pure hell, and that's how I got a lot of experience.
But that you know how many times I heard that story? You know how many friends I got? I'm in my 40s now. When Facebook first came out, you know how many friends I got we was in our 30s then, who found their fathers on social media? Their fathers found them, rather. I had one friend was crying because he was homeless since 16. And I knew him. We graduated together from high school. And he was like, yo, I've been homeless, living on trains for the last 2 years. I was washing up in gas stations before I came to school. Y'all was teasing me about my clothes. Y'all ain't know my situation. He was like, man, bro. He said, man, I just found my dad. He said, my mom told me my dad was dead. I thought my dad was dead since 15, and he just live in Texas. Like, these are the things I go through. I'm on a block on Fishbowl Friday. I need to patent that too. Trademark Fishbowl Friday. Fishbowl Friday is this. Don Julio bottles look like a fishbowl. And one of our friends got killed over a toddler. You know what I'm saying? He got killed by his wife's mistress or whatever you call the dip off. And to celebrate him, we do Fishbowl Fridays every week. Every Friday we drink, Don Julio. So I'm out there with 30 dudes, and only they was like, ain't none of us got no dads. Fuck our dad. And 3 of us was like, yo, we got our dads. Like, the fuck is y'all talking about, dude? Like, but I knew they moms. I'm like, yo, your mom kind of ain't shit, and all y'all got different last names, and if y'all wasn't my guys, I'd be scared that all y'all got pistols. But I'm gonna get up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that most people call it deadbeat, but most of it is child alienation. Most times
It was on my end, but the thing is, I was taken at 9, so I had my father from 0 to 9, and then when she took me, and he didn't even know where I was for a while. She took me out of state. So to make a long story short, I still remembered him being the leader, even though I had to fight off her boyfriends when they came on to me. I had to be. We were homeless a lot. We were always hungry. And so when I turned 18. They kicked me. She kicked me out because her boyfriend started checking me out, and there was my dad. You know what I mean? So 10 years away, and I'm in the hood for 10 years, and I still was able to choose good mates, even though my mom had nothing but she had felons. She had all kind of different men coming into the house, but I still was able to help her through that. I used to guide her through it, like, Mom, here, use protection, things like that, because a lot of times we didn't have food to eat. Those things had to get done, and I was a part of it. Yeah.
What you got to say on that, Vaughn?
When I got my wife pregnant when I was 16, right?
Good job, man. Good
job. And then I got her pregnant again when I was 17, right? And so the first one, I was naive and I was excited about, this baby coming. I'm 16, I don't know no better. Then I'm 17, I'm like, oh, now it's time to get real. And so my father was murdered when I was 11. So I looked to his brothers, my uncles, like, these are my pillars now, right? So I go to my one uncle. He's married. He's got a wife and 2 children. So I'm like, yo, I got another baby on the way, and looking for a little guidance or whatever. Just trying to chop it up with him. He's like, man, the hell with that bitch. That baby ain't yours. This is my uncle, man. I'm like, what? He's like, nah, man. He said all these bitches ain't shit. This is his message to me. And his wife is right there next to him, right? And he's like, ain't that right? I don't want to say her name. He's like, ain't that right? And she's like, mm-hmm. She co-signing everything he's saying. And he just basically the same way y'all talking right now. These women, they blah blah blah, these bitches, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, damn. So he messing me up in a sense because I'm still torn because I got this void, from my father being gone. But at the same time, I know a little better than what he's telling me. So I'm conflicted, because I want this wisdom. I want this game. And I'm kind of in the street a little bit, but I still want to do right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm conflicted. If I had listened to him, my wife today of 31 years would be a single mama with 2 kids. And not of her own doing. She didn't just choose the wrong guy. When she chose me, or when we chose each other, however you want to say it, it was all good. Right? I wasn't mistreating her. She wasn't mistreating me. She wasn't on no bullshit. But the wrong influence, you get the wrong word from somebody who's supposed to be an elder, and all of a sudden you got single mothers out here, right? Out of women who could turn around and be an absolutely wonderful wife. Like my wife is a star in this wife.
Here's my thing. A lot of women would be great wives at 16, but shit, they garbage at 28. Look, here's.
But the point is still the same.
It's opposite. It's actually opposite, sir. Because I became a wife at 20, and I was horrible at it. But now I became a wife again in my 30s, and I'm excellent at it because I came with experience. I fucked up a whole marriage. I fucked up. So
and my wife was ready. At 18, my wife was ready to be an outstanding wife and mother at 18. But again, we're talking about purpose, right? Who's talking to us about purpose? Who's talking to us about destiny and legacy and lineage and shit that really matters? Right. Building wealth. Nobody's laying that game to us. We're talking about. Hold on, let me finish.
Let them rock.
We talking about all kind of shit like what y'all spitting right now. These hoes ain't shit. And all this other stuff. You can't trust these hoes. They all want to be single mamas. They want to choose welfare over you, and all this dumb shit that y'all spitting right now. Meanwhile, I got a woman who's ready to be what she is to me right now. I had that. She was ready for that at 18, and I'm ready through the wise words of one of my elders. Bitches ain't nothing, man. All of them, they ain't this, they ain't that. And his wife sitting right there with him.
Okay, I got the
right now. You should have had a crazy. Should have did a drop of the Mac. Only because of the same.
Hey, but here's the thing. No.
Saying we got that. I don't think that's an uncommon story. We get misguided by our elders.
Here's the flip side.
Men.
I'll give you the flip story. Because my dad thinks all women are women, but I ain't never seen him pick a good woman. Not as a friend. Not as nothing. So I don't listen. You know what I'm saying? But
you say he think all women are wonderful?
Yeah, he'll go against me for a chick. That's why I don't fuck with him. Anyway, so the thing is, here's the thing: lineage, legacy, all that. And I talked to Pete about this on a podcast I did yesterday. I said, man, Generation X is the first generation to actually talk to our kids. Before then, the grandparents had to talk to the grandkids because the parents were trying to be stoic or do their own thing, especially if they was boomers. They were just goofy. But we the first generation to talk to our kids, to tell our kids, this is our history. We the first generation that our kids real life knew our history. Like they knew what happened in the 1980s, 1990s. It's well documented because we actually had a chance to tell our own story. Whether it was a good or bad, whether Boys in the Hood was a good or bad movie. You know what I'm saying? We got a chance to tell our own story through music, through movies, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And now we have YouTube and we can tell our testimonies through podcasts. Before then, everybody else told our story for us. So the fact that, like, when I watched Roots, everybody else they from Africa from Roots. What I got was, these bitches ruined Kunta Kinte's life. Everything that happened to Kunta was over a chick. That's what I got from the movie. You saw the slave master coming. Your grandmama still send you out to make a drum out of a tree trunk. Got you captured. You get to America, see O.J. Simpson's daughter that you were supposed to marry in Africa. She snitched on you because she was getting some white dick and some bigger pieces of chicken, and you get your foot chopped off. Now you're supposed to escape again, and you done knocked up the chick from Sesame Street, and now goddamn, she like, what about little Kizzy? You can't leave me. So you still can't even go to freedom because you're like, well, this pussy good. I finally gave me some ass. Look, fucked up his whole life. And then everybody said, we from Africa because one dude from one tribe got caught. Look, the mindfuck that they give colors, because colors don't read shit and they don't know their story, is some bananas. I listen to these Hebrew Israelites and I ask them where do Hebrew Israelites come from, and they tell me some shit about being the original Jew, and I'm like, nah, that was from the Pentecostal church, because even in the 1890s, niggas ain't want to be niggas. So the black people from the Pentecostal church started calling themselves Israelites just because they didn't want to be like the regular Baptist niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like none of this shit that niggas believe is actually true, but you can't take away their belief system because beliefs is based on feelings and feelings over facts. You know what I'm saying? Stupid. I don't concern myself with none of the shit these colors do, and I don't give no two shits. I ain't even gonna miss the pussy because I still got $40. I get married to whatever color girl. I get married to whatever color girl, and the fact that I'm married to make these black chicks fuck me better, because nothing makes a black chick hotter than a married man. They gotta fuck up something. If they can't fuck you up directly, they gotta fuck up your marriage or something. So I still fuck.
Hey, Isaiah, was that Isaac? Hey, he ain't the only one lucked up. I married my wife at 19, and I met her when I was 15. You know what I'm saying? So, I got me an amazing wife too.
Hey,
to all the fellas out there, I just want to say.
And let me throw this in there too, just about the whole luck piece, man. It's not as much about luck as it is about sometimes it's circumstance and making the right decision when you presented with these opportunities, right? So I met my wife, and I could have did to her what I was doing to every other girl before her. I met and several of those girls are married to this day, right? Several of those girls are married right now that I was passing over. What happened with what really, if you want to call it luck, was when my wife got pregnant. And then the fortunate part about that was that I felt so much pain from my father not being there that when she got pregnant, automatically in my mind, she was my wife, because I didn't want my child to go through what I felt when I was growing up without my pop. So right. if anything, that's what the luck was, is that she got pregnant. I got the right girl pregnant, and she happened to be a good girl, blah, blah, blah. But, and then I'll tell you another step. We got out the game early. Right, we got out the dating game. We're not supposed to linger in this dating game, chasing girls, getting money. Like, we're not supposed to be 35 and 40 years old, not settled down with a woman. That they gave us the game in reverse, man. We're supposed to get out the game.
Hey, Bob, everybody, I just want to say we're coming up on a 2-hour mark, so start
Can I give a perspective on that? Because
Yes.
when I was younger, I told men when I was younger, and I think that's absolutely beautiful. My son and his wife, they have the same story. They met and got married, and they got a baby coming. Anyway, long story short, where was I getting at with that? With the young love and all that?
Yeah.
Well, you want a perspective on it, right? I disagree with what he said.
I told men to go deal with hundreds of women, then come back to me. I don't want that. I don't want that. I did never want the young love.
Well, I don't think it's about. I don't think it's about
who you are at the time too. You've been through a lot of shit, and you weren't really ready to be a wife at that time.
Oh hell no! But I needed I wanted the title. I needed the foundation. I needed that I'm honest. I'm an honest one. I needed the foundation, and I needed a place for my child because I had a child at 16 too. It's just that I was a single mama. I've been a single mom before, but I was pretty.
What I was getting at though
was the only thing on my side.
Based on what you shared, it's not about choice. It's about circumstance and luck. Like, okay,
I'm gonna let Vaughn go. I just wanted to know if he was 27 with a box Chevy, but go ahead, Vaughn.
What I was saying with Star was like you at 16, 18 years old, you were the product based on what you shared with us. You were the product of basically being traumatized.
Yeah.
Right. As a child. So the way you show up at 18, having to overcome all that trauma and all that emotional pain, carrying all that emotional baggage. Hell no, you ain't ready to be nobody's wife.
But I became a wife.
Right. No, later. Right.
No. Then I found I became a wife.
I'm talking about a good wife.
Oh, no.
Right.
Here's my thing, right? We say it's not luck, right? But if you look, and I'm gonna be honest, if you really look at it, it is luck because you got with her at 16, you got her pregnant. Had she not got pregnant, what choices would you have made? You were only stopped by a intervention of a child coming in, right?
What's going on, internet land? It's the fly bow tie guy coming live to you to send a reminder to donate to these gentlemen that's giving their time and passion. We're gonna come with some great guests in the future for you guys to entertain you guys and have a good time. And I want to have these guys motivated and giving their best and want to continue to do these lives for the future. So if you enjoy this show and you want more lives, donate that Tribe Power and show some love. Enjoy the show.
That's right. We need more hats and more bow ties. So, but as I was saying, when you say it wasn't luck, it is luck. I mean, at 16, you really didn't get heavy in the dating pool, and you got it on your first try. No, and you really got on your. Dude, nobody's really taking dating serious until you're really an adult.
I'm saying you interact.
Sometimes you have connections with people that you can't help. You got to remember, there's people talk about chemistry, but people don't get into the.
Everybody got a first love at 16.
She wasn't my first love. She wasn't my first love, and she wasn't my first try. I had multiple girls. I had pregnancies and all of that shit before I even met her. Or no, I'm sorry, before I actually started dealing with her.
Shout out to the hanger involved.
I'm just saying,
with the hanger work.
You can't put me in this box where you got lucky and cry and then boom. No, that's not happening.
They were just meant to be together. They were meant.
Yeah, shout out to her for bullying you into marriage, man. I mean, I would have got married at 20, but the girl pussy was broken. She would have had a son out of married her. But here's the thing. Ain't my fault she fucking couldn't carry an egg. Look, man,
I thought I was wrong. Shit, man.
Nigga, look, I don't marry for love. I marry for purpose, nigga. If you can't give me a son, what the fuck is your use for, nigga? That's what the pussy for. I enjoy the pussy, but I mean, it's broke. Anyway.
Isaac said I was reckless. Yeah, I was reckless. Show me a 16-year-old boy who ain't reckless that comes from the project.
Right, but ultimately you said you made your decision once she was pregnant and you decided. You know what I'm saying? Some people. Yeah,
I'm just trying to put this story out here like I just had the perfect story, and I was so purpose filled, and I was looking for a damsel to just be my wife. No, come on, man. I came from the same
6 minutes. It's coming 6 minutes to the 2-hour mark.
My point is the part that I disagree with is saying that, you know what I'm saying, like immediately we should be looking at that. Like honestly, I think men need to experience certain things external because you were pushed into a situation to have to care. This is what I'm saying. When it happens, it changes your trajectory. So now you have to make decisions, not for yourself, but for yourself and others. So if your wife didn't get pregnant, you know what I'm saying? Your direction could have been totally different. And so I don't totally agree that men should just take on the responsibility of a woman and children, not understanding. Maybe you had a better understanding at that age, or you probably didn't because you went to your uncle for advice. You fell into line because maybe circumstances, maybe the way you loved your wife, but like you said, you had issues in the beginning, right? You weren't. So that means you were just fortunate that she stayed around while you grew into what you did. So in a sense, that is luck. You weren't prepared. This is why I'm saying it's not righteous for men to have. It's not righteous for men to just have kids and families at a young age. There's preparation needed, and especially this age, kind of like I'll say this: there's a difference.
Y'all ain't ready to wrap this up?
I just want
Yeah. I'm saying today's men at 16 is different than Generation X. We all are.
Come on, man.
We raised ourselves, right? So we may have been more of an adult at a younger age.
I just want to say, basically, towards the end,
What are we talking about?
Someone wrote in the comments, we need to have compassion. I'll end it on that note. I really feel that, even though I can be pretty brutal with my perspectives and opinions, but yes, definitely we all need to have compassion for one another.
All right, and I'm going to say that I disagree with actually both those statements. I'm going to take Vaughn's side on this one. Vaughn was lucky, but his wife made it happen. She wasn't one of the 91% that was like, yo, I just want the kid. I don't want a man, dude. So she fought for the marriage, and that's why they still married. They fought for this shit together because it's hard to live with other people. But I will say this: I don't think we need compassion. You know what I'm saying? Because you're building. There's no compassion when the brick hits the earth. I think the problem is there is too much compassion. That's why y'all colors, because y'all think that a color dictates that everybody should move how you feel is the best way to move. The fact that you call yourself black in juxtaposition of white. Whites only white when they're around blacks. When they around each other, they nationality. They Irish, Italian, Jewish, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, black don't even mean anything in another country. They'll look at you like you're crazy.
Black don't mean shit. I'm American until I change my ethnicity. So the fact that y'all anti-American to be pro-black is also chaotic. It's a dysfunctional culture. You can't build on dysfunction. You know what I'm saying?
Don't wrap it up.
You can't build on dysfunction. So you gotta just
start
over.
Pies.
You can't rebuild. You can't save. You just gotta be cold about that shit and say, yo, me and my guys, we finna do this shit. And after we do this shit, then I'll come back and holler at you, and you'll fuck me because I got a bed, and then you're gonna complain I ain't got a headboard. So you can take what I build and you can interior decorate it, and I'll let you just if you shut the fuck up. But you can't be there while I'm building. That's not how this shit works.
Hey, we keep getting people to tell us to keep going.
Shout out to O about the reality on that nationality.
Selector.
Yeah, man, I do. Again, just the circumstances that came my way. You can call it luck if you want to. I think when it's all said and done, though.
And hold on, I'm gonna say that there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not like.
It's not even where I'm going. My point is that regardless of who come across your path, the right decision has to be made, right?
Exactly.
So you can meet, because all of us have met people who were good quality, who could have been good wives or good mothers. I mean, good wives or good husbands for us in our path, and we didn't necessarily make the right decision, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't. You could have your soulmate show up to your doorstep, but if you ain't ready, if you believe in soulmates or whatever, somebody who's perfectly suited to accommodate your mission can show up. But if you don't make the right decision, it is what it is, and then you'll be saying, oh, damn, 90% of the women ain't shit or 90% of the men ain't shit.
What's meant will happen.
There you go. We got decisions to make, man. And so when I was getting back to the point about getting married, I was more so talking about being purposeful in our dating and in our mating when we're young, more so than getting married at 16 and 18 years old. That wasn't my point. My point was that, we spend a lot of our time and our energy and our life force as young men out here just laying nut like it's endless, like it's boundless, and as if we're gonna have. Look, if we're gonna sit here and we're gonna agree that 90% of the women are not worth our time, then that means we should be that much more purposeful and that much more selective with the women that we do come in contact with. Like, you can't have it both ways.
What about the women that come in contact with?
let's just go out here and sow our
women
wild
not
oats,
important.
and then we're passing up. In sowing our wild oats, we're passing up some of those in that 10% category, but we ain't ready to be serious yet, right? So then by the time we arrive at 35, 40 years old, we're like, okay, now I'm ready to be serious. But damn, you might have shot down several of the women who were ready to accommodate you, and now you're choosing from a pool of muddy ass water.
It just wasn't meant. You played target practice.
And I want to say that you mispurpose purpose. So at 16, 17, 18 years old, your purpose is whatever your purpose is. Girls come with the grind. If my purpose is to be a basketball player, I'm shooting 1,000 free throws and I still fuck a girl. Her job is to sit on the bench and do her homework while I'm doing my free throws. If she can't do that, then shit, she's not part of my purpose, but I'll still fuck. It doesn't matter. Girls come with the grind. So the fact that black people think that getting a girl, like men, think that getting a girl is the upper echelon. They don't think power, they think romance, like they live in a Disney novel. That is part of the fucking problem. But that's part of the problem that happens when you raise in a predominantly boomer and toddler environment. You living in a daycare and they telling you about interpersonal relationships. I don't give a fuck about interpersonal relationships. No. Your network is your net worth. So I give a fuck about who I know, what I'm doing. This is what I bring to the table, making sure nigga A never meet nigga C so I can get the middleman profit. That's who the fuck I was at 16. I'm just a better version of that at 40, but that's who I was. Whoever you was at 16, that's what you are. So if you're 16, all you was doing was chasing girls, you 40 talking about some, man, all these bitches ain't shit, yo. Get you some pussy, young blood. But if you had a purpose, you saying, look, little homie, this is what you do, man. The part of being raised by women is being a minstrel. Because all motherfuckers want to be is entertained. So you want to play basketball, be a comedian, goddamn it, whatever the fuck may be, you the minstrel class, and then you let the minstrels be your spokespeople. You listen to the LeBron Jameses and the Chris Rocks, they don't know shit. Goddamn it. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I just want to respond to that real quick. I think and when the fact that the overwhelming majority of the women in our community are again, we don't have the cultural boundaries that brings us women who are ready to be a wife and ready to be a mother at age 21, right? So we got to be like, most of them going to be a waste of your time, just like most of the guys are going to be a waste of your time, right? But here's the point that I'm making is this: it takes, somebody to get lucky, if you want to call it that, like Quasi did, like I did, and like the woman that Star is showing up as right now. It takes interaction with a healthy-minded woman to understand that women bring a lot more to the table than just pussy and giving you babies.
Oh shit, yeah.
But again, you don't really realize that until you interact with
them. You're in it. Yeah.
No, this is where I totally disagree. Okay. I don't disagree that they bring more, but what I always say, they'll help you or they'll fuck you, but they can't multitask.
That's
so
that
I mean, shit.
That's not true.
If you find shit. So if
I'm living proof of that.
So if you find a girl that can multitask, then she's a keeper. Everybody's replaceable until they make themselves irreplaceable. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers will fuck you or they'll help you, but they won't do both. So man, it is what it is. And you have a culture of people that thinking fucking you and helping you is oppression. But they're taught that about older women that's competing with the same dick she getting. I fuck mothers and daughters. When I was 26, that perfect age, I could fuck a 20-year-old girl and a 30, 36-year-old mama. I did that a couple of times. They compete for the same dick because they the same goofy bitch. Because you keep telling me that women need to teach the daughters, and I keep telling you women never need to teach nothing. Goddamn it, man. How the fuck you gonna learn how to get a man from a woman whose whole job is to tell you that you don't need a man because you're a woman, but everything she does is dependent on a man because she a woman. She got to sell pussy or sell pussy pics or ask motherfuckers for assistance or get taxpayer money to cohabitate. Look, it's a goofy ass culture and it's reinforced by men. It's all men's fault. I don't blame women for anything. They just toddlers. I never blame a child for adult situations.
But hold on, the woman is a master manipulator.
Hey, what y'all trying to do? A part two? Y'all want to do a part two on this topic?
Women are master manipulators. If that woman's on your side, you can use that to your advantage.
Women are master manipulators when they isolate you. I had a friend of mine.
It looks like we got a lot to say on this topic.
No, I'm gonna say this real quick, and I'm gonna let. I had a friend of mine who was ready to commit suicide, but I didn't know he was ready to commit suicide because I just thought he was a goofy ass, heartbroken nigga. So the motherfucker come through, he all crying and shit, talking about some, man, I lost the love of my life and this, that, and the third. And I said, what happened? He said, man, she said I was abusive and just like her baby daddy, and she was crying and she kicked me out and it's over. That's the only girl I ever want to love. And I said, what happened? He said, man, she was beating me up, and I grabbed her shoulders and shook her like, leave me alone, and she started crying. And I was like, nigga, fuck your heart. Fuck is wrong with you, nigga?
That's what my husband would have said.
Hey, everybody, type one in the comments if you want a part 2. It's like they want a part 2, y'all. I'm serious. I was serious about the question. Y'all want a part 2? Type one.
I'm just saying. So I'm saying the manipulation of women is based on the love of men, because women can only reflect, project, or weaponize men's love. And black women are taught to weaponize men's love instead of reflect it. That's why they never goddamn happy. Talking about, I'm looking for a man to make me happy. Bitch, I can't make you happy. I can keep you happy.
The man can't make you happy. We have to already be happy.
You already be happy, bitch. So I know what makes you happy is being
and it ain't
abused.
black
So
women, that's American women.
All right, American women. I date rape white girls too, because I know that's your fantasy. So let me give you your fetish. I don't have no time for none of this goofy shit. Because, man, anytime something happens, it's always gonna be my fault. So if it's my fault, it's my fix. And if it's gonna be my fault, I'm gonna go all the way in. And I'm gonna give you a story to tell. I don't care about none of that shit. You talk about domestic violence. Most domestic violence is a dude shaking or slapping his girl when he's under attack. That's why she called the police. If I get you, I'm stomping your ass out like you the ops, nigga, making your kidneys bleed, all type of shit. You know what she gonna do? Go to work the next day wearing sunglasses, say she failed. Because they never called on the real abusers. They just called on the niggas that be like, leave me alone.
Hold on. And then y'all call me the abuser. You say I want to be women. See what I'm saying?
No, you want to be women.
I've never been through any of these things, by the way.
Yo.
Look. Crazy, Vaughn.
Yeah.
Y'all was talking to me the other day. He just said, yo, man, how I get the bad rap?
Stop, y'all. Stop. Look, it's 3 in the morning around there, y'all. Look. They talking about they want a part 2. They typing one, they want a part 2. Y'all want to give them a part 2?
I don't mind.
We can do it.
Yeah, let's do a part 2. Let's leave a cliffhanger and do part 2, because I'm digging this, and there's more to build on this. We got a lot to build on this. Star, I appreciate you coming out, dear sister.
Thank you for having me.
You graced us with your intelligence and your presence. And is there anything you want to leave? 2 minutes. Any closing remarks? 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And then let them know where they can find you.
Honestly, it was a pleasure building with all of you gentlemen. I actually love all of your intellect. Great points made. My name is Star Parham Sobers. You can find me. Actually, I have Dark Enlightenment. You can find me on there. That's my dark alter ego. I have a book, Butterfly Experience: The Alchemical Steps to Enlightenment. Yeah, more to come.
Okay. Did you name your Facebook page?
Pete.
Okay.
Pete, 2 minutes and where they can find you.
Where you can find me? You can find me in the streets.
You can find me in the club.
Find me in the club. Bottle full of bub. Well, I would say you can find me on Facebook, but I'm in jail all the time, so they just hit me with another 30. Look, they hit me with a 30. Let me get a few days. Told me I had 6 more days to do because I violated parole, but apparently they found another shit that I did, so now they hit me with another 30 days. But
what about the $40 of gas, man? What about
look,
the ass of gas?
Look, it's gonna be a hard choice. You going $40 either for ass or gas, fellas. You're gonna have to choose wisely. Look what Vaughn said. You're gonna be presented with an opportunity, and what choice you make has to be correct. So if you're at a gas station and she's selling ass, you gotta make a decision. You know what I mean? The best thing to do is say, "Hey, I can only give you 20."
35 in the tank and 3 tacos on Tuesday.
There you go. But man, just this is a great show. I'm glad y'all enjoying it, and that y'all want a part 2. I get, definitely like the Star being here, having a feminine female presence, and men being the men on here. The fellas, what I'm saying, is crazy because we just have different ideals, but we still, make it work. And then, just shout out to Crazy, man. He really drummed us together. And send the money. Not for the show, for the hats that Crazy wear and the bow ties. We need him to rock a new hat and a new bow tie every shit. And look,
looking like Dumbbell Jones over there.
Right. But I'm gonna let y'all know. And the last thing I want to say is that we are sponsored by 4 Loco, 211, and Joe Biden crack pipes.
All right, Vaughn, 2 minutes and where they can find you, buddy.
Yeah, you can find me. My Facebook page is The Love Alchemist. So at The Love Alchemist on Facebook and at Von_The Love Alchemist on IG. Other than that, yeah, you know, I got a book too, the Heart Work book. There we go, the Heart Work book.
That, we promote books. Oh shit!
That me and my wife.
With the books, I need to go get my wife book. Position Your Man to Win.
That me and my wife wrote that book together.
Beautiful.
So that we wrote that book together so that 31
baby, if
days.
you hear me out here, come bring your book. I don't mean to cut you off, Vine. If you can hear me, baby, come bring your book.
Yeah, 31 days to mastering your relationship. Just kind of, you know, goes through a lot of the challenges that most couples have, and it's in the binder how you can overcome that. Like I said, find me where I told you, and that's it. I appreciate you being on the show, Star. Looking forward to part 2.
Same here.
Oh,
hold on. Yeah, I guess I should tell you where you get the book. theconditionsoflove.com. Theconditionsoflove.com. That's where the book is. It's because love is conditional. That's it. You want unconditional love, I sell dopamine pinches.
Yeah, that's facts though. That's facts.
Wait, you do? You still doing with pictures?
Yes, sir.
Yo, I'm a Atlas Cloud. He was looking for. He made a post about it that he looking for Dobermans.
Yeah.
So,
see, look
follow
at
his page, man.
Pup Connection. All right, so look, y'all can find me on the.
Hold on. And last but not least, from Chi-Town.
Hey, I'm gonna have to give you my other track, bro. I just know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The Dirty Folks.
Yeah, send that. So I can play.
Yeah, I got Dirty Folks theme song. All right, so you can catch me on Dirty Folks on Facebook, the Dirty Folks podcast Dirty Folks on YouTube, Dirty Folks podcast on Facebook, Dirty Folks 74 on Twitter, Dirty Folks on IG. I don't ever be on IG, but it comes to my Facebook. And since we plugging shit, hey, y'all can check out if y'all wanna. On the next show, I'll explain to you how to turn your toddler into a secretary. We'll talk about that. But you can check me out. Take the toddlerology course so you learn how to train your toddler at toddlerology.
What's the website?
Toddlerology at thinkific.com. And since we plugging books,
look, there we go. I'm about to say you got a shelf.
Yeah, I got the shelf.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm loving this group economic going on right here.
Check this out. Fuck what Vaughn talking about. You can get the book How to Screw in 72. Hold on, let me go right back.
Yeah.
A Man's Guide to Getting Sex in 3 Days or Less. Or you can get the unabridged version, How to Score in 24. You know what I'm saying? So you can bust them down the first date. And
shit.
And you know what I'm saying? I'll teach you all the mastery of how to date, rape, and cuddle so she don't call the police. And you know what I'm saying? You got
the t-shirts.
Oh yeah, man. We got the I ain't got one on me right now. I ain't got one.
Now, where Mitch need to come in with his shirt.
Mitch needs to come with the shirt.
My husband read that.
You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Then we got hold on.
Hey, yo, crazy. Now here's the thing. You know I'm from Brooklyn, and Biggie today was the day
we got,
Biggie died, so
we got the apparel
before we leave.
Oh shit, this ain't even a shirt. Hold on, wrong shirt.
Oh boy.
You got some Biggie in there you can put on when we exit.
We got the top. We got
one more chance.
Tyler's gonna title tees. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You were serious about the toddlers.
Goddamn right. We got a female version coming out just to say toddlers. You know what I'm saying? So you can meet know who your girl is when you have to take to Chicago or whatever.
Say what?
Last but not least, man, go on Amazon.
I had
get
to
the
get
Lion Coin League jerseys and hats. You know what I'm saying? We got Chicago style hats too with the snake skin and crocodile and diamonds on the bezel, but them ain't cheap. And I know y'all niggas don't even give us to the cash app for the show, so I know y'all ain't gonna buy the diamond bezel shit. But you know what I'm saying? Grab the little $20 joints. Y'all cheap motherfuckers. I'm just playing.
Right, look, check this out. Here I go. Nah, man, I appreciate everybody showing up. All the new commenters and attenders. I appreciate y'all. The show wouldn't be nothing without y'all. Mitch, appreciate you coming out once again, brother.
I forgot the soap. I forgot the
I'm Questy Black. And as you know, Nat Turner. And you can find me on Facebook under Quessy Black. Instagram, I'm gonna start getting more on Instagram, but you can find me on Quessy Black on Instagram. Of course, right here on YouTube. And since we bringing out books, this is my wife's book.
That's right.
Position Your Man to Win.
There you go.
There it is.
So Quessy, where can they buy your hats and your bow ties, man? Hey, look, you say you bow tie fly.
Hey,
I'm just putting it out there that you should be making your own bow tie collection.
Yeah, we go. It's all in the works. I'm a businessman. We gonna come up with something. We gonna work a little something. Right. Also, I got merch for those that got black status out there. All the black people out there, they ain't Americans. We got Black Wealth Matters, Close the Gap. You see what I'm saying?
There you
go.
So
you can go to my Teespring link. It's on my page. It's even on my Facebook page. If y'all want to get some merch, you got hoodies and all kinds of little merch you can get to your children and all that. Support Black group economics. Last thing I want to say is these fellas, they coming out here giving their time. You know what I'm saying? They passionate. We all have a call in the tribe up. That's really our purpose. At the end of the day, is for everybody to tribe up, lock arms, and build this economy together. Right. And that's why I'm happy to see everybody showing what they got. All this group economics, it pumps me up. So, show some love, cash up that tribe power. Mm-hmm. So, I can give these brothers something for their time, and it's going to motivate us to keep doing shows.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And giving our best and getting better. So, I want to end with that. I appreciate everybody coming out.
Can I ask one last star? Where can they get your book at? Because you didn't say where they could get your book at.
It's on Amazon.
Amazon.
Mm-hmm. You're on Amazon? Okay.
What I'm gonna do after the show?
They gotta know where to go.
Yeah, after the show, I'm gonna edit the description, and I'll put where you can get the merch, where you get the book.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And where can they get your book?
You can send me links too.
Yeah.
Yo,
your course is Oak, and I'll put it all in the
Amazon. But you get the book free when you take the course, because I want guys to get over the trauma of trying to meet girls. I need y'all to get the pussy, so y'all don't try to set me up over pussy, so we can actually tribe up.
How many books you got on Amazon?
Let's see. I got these. I got Hustles Legislation. I got.
You got to put it in the camera.
But no, you put in Oak Summers. Go to Amazon, type in Oak Summers, and they have my whole.
Can everybody put their books up?
Hey, shout out to Tommy Roll. Love. Just giving a shout out to the book. You put up there, PY. Look, Tommy. Love XI. She put up this book is fire, which is PYMTW. That's Position Your Man to Win. Great book. Hey, y'all, she's talking about my wife. She's talking about my wife. Great book. They got the book. These commenters, they already got the book. They telling y'all it's fire. So
fire, yeah.
Oh, I want it.
Well, I'm letting y'all know I can't read. So
hey, my book cover is quality.
I don't even know what y'all talk about.
But I'm gonna suggest for beginners read the Hustlers Legislation because it actually talks about how hood niggas can start their own political move.
There you go.
And it's a lot of fucking in it, so y'all can learn how to date rape properly. I'm just playing. I mean, I'm playing for y'all because y'all can get away with it. Y'all got to read the other books to get away with it. But you know what I'm saying.
All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all. Right? We appreciate y'all coming out, and we out.
Yeah.